It'll hit right there. Just look at that line with the chip top. Saban going out of bounds, but it's off Detroit. And New York's fault. So the Knicks, Reggie, had in game 2 just 15 assists.
Yo, is this live? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Am I live? Am I good? AJ, what's good, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. I got the Knicks Pistons game on. Let me flip on the draft real quick. Dude, I cannot freaking wait, man. I cannot wait. Jason, what's going on, man? Dominic, how's it going, dude? Salik, hope you're doing well, bro. Let me turn this down. Hopefully there's no like sort of copyright issues. And my brother should be popping in here in a little bit, but I'm not sure exactly when. But dude, how you guys feeling, man? How you guys feeling? We got 10 minutes or 9 minutes before the thing kicks off, man. I appreciate everyone hopping in. Kevin, yeah, so I literally just changed the channel. I think the Knicks were up by 3. Kadu, what's going on, man? Good to see you, bro. Ed, how's it going, man? Can you guys hear me okay? I had to completely shift my desk and move things around, like lighting over here, mic over here. Let's see. Sean, what's going on, bro? Frank, how you doing, man? Bro, how you feeling with that second overall pick, all these new rumors coming in? Stefan, what's going on, man? Thank you so much. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Should I put 100 on Sanders going into the top 10? Bro, this whole Sanders thing, I have no idea where this guy's going to go. I mean, there's still mock drafts coming out with him going 3. Like, it's not fully ruled out. And then there's stuff with, him going to Pittsburgh at spot number 21, and then him falling to the second round. But is there going to be a team that trades up? Let's see. Andre, how you doing, bro? What's up, Jet Central? Who you got to draft tonight? Dude, oh my God. I honestly, look, if Mebu's on the board, I'm going to say it's him. I don't see the Jets passing on Membu. But if he's not on the board, man, I'm going to say it's Tyler Warren. I don't see a situation where both Membu and Tyler Warren are off the board. If that's the case, we're going to, be in line for a pretty damn good player at that point. But, dude, Green Bay looks absolutely packed. Is there anything that you guys want, maybe like background music or something like that? My brother should be popping in. Valid. Dude, I seriously don't even know what to say. What do you, dude? Thank you, man. Holy if at any point in the entire stream you want to take that back, feel free. No pressure at all. That is absolutely insane, man. That is absolutely insane, dude. Bro, I don't even know what to say, man. Holy any point you want to take that back, dude, feel free. Let me getting teary-eyed, bro. What's your Twitter, Valen, or Instagram or something? Yeah, dude, for real. What's your Twitter, man? I'm gonna send you something. If you're still in here, please drop it in the chat, man. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kevin, dude. Yeah, Valen's the man. He's always in these different streams, the weekly streams with Tyson. That's crazy, man. Crazy. T-Mobile, what's going on, man? Toads, what's happening, man? What's happening? Yeah, so my brother, he's here. He doesn't want to do the entire stream, but he's gonna be doing the top 10 with me, and then he's a Bills fan. He's gonna come in to do the Buffalo Bills pick. Don't have socials, man. I know dropping email in like a YouTube chat, it's always like a little weird, right? But I definitely want to get in contact with you, man. Definitely want to get in contact. You don't send that type of freaking super chat and then just expect me to just continue on like nothing. Like that's insane, man. Like I said, I'm almost like eyes are tearing up. Crazy, man, crazy. Ugh. It's Jet super fan, bro. What's going on, man? Who do you got to pick number 7? Draft begins in 4 minutes and 26 seconds. Oh, and by the way, I might be a little behind on the stream because I'm streaming the draft through the Spectrum TV app. So that's going to be a little slow. And then the stream is going to be a little slow. So if you guys can, when the Jets come up, I don't think I'm going to be looking directly at the chat like once the pick comes in. Just a heads up. And it's not going to be, I'm not ignoring anyone. I'm not ignoring the chat or anything like that, but it's just going to be, I don't want to be spoiled. This draft specifically, like I want to say like the last like 3-4 drafts, you had a pretty good idea on like where people were going to go. But this draft, man, like anything could happen, right? Of course, you got Cam Ward at spot number 1. But if Cleveland stays, it's looking like Travis Hunter. But now all of a sudden, they're in talks with Jacksonville for that 2nd overall pick. Crazy, crazy stuff. JD, bro, I appreciate you, man. Jets fan in Del Rey. Okay, another Florida guy over here. Let's play golf. Go Jets. Hey, man, I'm down. I got to learn how to play, but I'm down. I always wanted to start golf, but funny enough, I actually live right next to a Top Golf, but I never go. Balls, what's going on, man? Can you play ESPN low in the background or not? Yeah, so one thing I've been messing around with is this mic because I had to move the entire setup. Like I moved my desk, I moved the light, I moved the mic, and then unfortunately, like the mic plugins are on one side of the computer. Can you guys hear this? Or no? Yeah, bro. Valen's insane, bro. I can't even believe that. I can't even think about it because I'll start, getting too emotional over here, man. It's crazy. Jets fan from Texas. Hell yeah, man. I was in Houston. I went to a show out there with my buddy Kyle a couple years back. Yeah, there you go. Brian, bro got an online class at 8. Sanders or Dart? I would rather take Sanders. Oh shoot, what's going on? What's going on?
It's good.
So brother's in the house.
What's up,
He's gonna be
chat?
streaming.
What's up, chat?
Dude, check this out. Valen, he's awesome.
Holy shit, dude.
I know, dude. I know. Absolutely crazy, man. I'm sitting here, my eyes are watering, like, and that came in like right as the stream started.
Dude, shout out Valen. You still split in half, right?
Yeah, I got you. But no, absolutely insane, man. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. That's so generous.
Yeah, he's always in on the weekly streams that I do with Tyson.
Yeah.
Well, because sometimes we're over on Tyson's channel. We'll flip week to week. But yeah, no, he's always in here, always showing love, super generous.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. Appreciate that. That's serious.
Adam, Mason Graham. Hey, there's a chance he falls. There's
For
a
New
chance
York?
he falls. Yeah, for New York.
That'd be a great pick. I would be surprised if he's there, but we'll see. It seems like the top 5 are like locked in from everything I'm seeing, but
yeah, bro, for real. I appreciate the Superman. Thank you so much, bro. You did not have to do that. Jets fan in the loose, St. Louis. Yo, so you probably have some good insight on Armand Membu then.
I like Membu
from Missouri.
Yeah. I think he could go to New York.
Went to the game at Tottenham last year, 50-50 I go again. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the overseas matchups are going to be, but I would love to get out to England, man, for a game. Love to. That'd be so much fun.
I think they're expanding to other countries this year too.
Toads is in the chat.
I wonder if anyone remembers me from last year. Hopefully,
yeah, bro, they were asking about you.
Hopefully, the Bills draft in the first round this year. That'd be nice.
Team long hair.
Yeah, I haven't cut it since, son.
I
remember this fool. I icon picture.
Yeah, bro. Katie's another one. He's always in the weekly streams, man. He's always showing love in the comments.
Yeah, shout out.
Says, "Hey, Bills Central. Hey, Bills Central. Buffalo going to trade out of the first round again this year."
I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be as bad as last year though, with all the like guys that are late first round, early to mid second round picks. I feel like if the value's there, I would do it. It just depends on who's on the board. We need defensive back.
Yeah, I'll make Valen a member for sure, or a moderator for sure. I just have to do that through YouTube, and I'm through StreamYard right now. I could try to do that real quick through YouTube, but whether it's now or later, I'll definitely do it, man. NFL Films music is great. Can you guys hear it right now? Because I don't want to crank it up too loud, because then it's like copyright stuff. But
yeah, and I'm hopefully they can hear me okay.
Yeah, I put the mic right here. So
just fan at FO possibility to trade. I feel like it's gonna be hard to trade down for all the teams in the top 10.
Jackson Dart. Yeah, there's some smoke with the Giants, man.
Nah. I'm not big on Jackson Dart.
Barron boys. Damn, dude, Jahdae Barron, all this. So there's been a lot of smoke. So Dave doesn't really follow the Jets. But there's been a lot of smoke. Todd McShay, Adam Schefter, Albert Breer all just said be on the lookout for Jahdae Barron, the corner from Texas.
Yeah.
For the Jets.
He's like rising, it seems like. But
yeah, but well, that and also the Jets don't need a corner, like at all.
Well, they lost Reed.
Yeah, so they lost Reed, but they signed Brandon Stevens from Baltimore, who was just like, I don't know. It seemed like a lot of Ravens fans were happy that he left, but the Jets gave him a 3-year deal.
Well, the Ravens Pats defense last year, at least for like the first 12 games, was horrendous, to my understanding.
Wayne, bro, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that. You did not have to do that. Ed, what's going on, man? Membu or Warren?
Bro, I'm going O-line or what's the tight end, Penn State?
Tyler Warren.
Yeah. If I'm the Jets, I'm going Missouri. It's Missouri the tackle, right?
Yeah, Armand Membu.
Him or Warren. I think it's just be smart, safe.
All right, so we're beyond 8 o'clock here. I don't know where you guys are at. I don't know if the Titans are on the clock for you guys or not, but we're still kind of waiting around, at least on my end. Bills Mafia.
We're here. We're here.
What about Banks, bro? Dude, all these new mock drafts are coming out. Kelvin Banks to the Raiders. So I did a mock draft a month ago, and I had Kelvin Banks going to the Niners. I was legit getting messages like on Twitter saying I had Kelvin Banks way too high. It was a wasted pick for the 49ers. I'm like, I like Kelvin Banks. Athleticism, production, especially a ton of production back in 2023. Great high school prospect as well. I like Kelvin, but the question is with Kelvin Banks at spot number 7, can he play on the right side? Because I'm not moving Olu Fashanu from left to right. We saw him at right tackle last year, much, much better on the left side.
Yeah, and he's like, I feel like if you could solidify both your tackles, especially with how good he played last year, that makes sense. Disappointed. And if you look at Aaron Glenn with like how much they focused on O-line in Detroit.
Yeah, there we go, Terminator. I feel you, man. Where in New Jersey are you at? The only time I've ever been to Jersey is literally going to games.
So he said disappointed in news of potentially trading Brees. I guess there's been reports that Buffalo is shopping Cook around tonight too.
Is there really?
Yep.
Yeah. This running back class is super, super deep.
Yep. And Ray Davis played good last year. I don't want to lose Cook, but I also don't. Is that Lil Wayne?
Yeah, it is.
James Jones, it looks like.
Not Warren. He's terrible. Yeah, Goodell's terrible. He needs to go.
Yeah, Goodell's a canoe.
Yeah, very disappointed hearing Brees might be traded. That
yeah, what's the word on that? I didn't really read about that.
So it's just like a report that came out like in the middle of the day. Josine Anderson, who's been on top of everything with the Jets, she broke Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn, and Darren Muji before anyone.
Wow. Okay.
And so anyway, she broke the news that there could be trade speculation with Brees Hall. Not that word for word, but that was the point.
That'd be surprising.
And it's because Brees is in same thing with James Cook. He's in the last year of his deal.
Yep. He's
New regime,
big money, probably.
Yeah, potentially big money. Who knows if what his demands are. But new regime that did not draft him.
True.
Hasn't played a game for Glenn. Is it the Jets that don't want Brees? Or is it Brees that doesn't want to play for the Jets?
Right. I would hold on to him for this year, but
yeah, so I think we're just kind of waiting around, kicking off till the number one or Titans are on the clock here. Where are the Cats?
Yeah, where are the Cats? They're probably hiding.
Yeah, they're not used to him being in here, so they're probably a little spooked.
It's cool seeing the draft in Green Bay.
Dude,
we got a low in there.
Oh yeah, he's a Packers fan, right? I could have swore he was a Saints fan. Dude, we gotta chill, man. We gotta chill. He's in Tampa.
Oh, he stays in Tampa.
Yeah.
I should link up. Watch your game this year.
Love this site. Never get to watch live. What receivers do you guys like? I personally like. So I'm a big fan of McMillan. I like McMillan a lot. It seems like he's getting a lot of
people are
kinda,
starting to. Yeah, I feel like speculate that he might fall, but he's a good prospect.
Can you guys hear everything okay? And by the way, 300 people in the chat, man. Thank you a ton for coming in and hanging out. Oh shoot, Buffalo Jet fan. What's going on, man? What's going on, Kevin? Seeing Ian Long, yeah, bro. If you want to hop in the chat, man, I don't know if you're live over on your channel, or if you're going to be doing videos and stuff like that. But if you want, man, feel free to pop in. Invite's always on the table.
Dude, it's crazy. It's already been a year since we did this last year.
I know, dude. It feels like it was like last month. Central's yeah. I appreciate you, bro. I hope Jets take CJ West out of Indiana. Yeah, dude, he's one of my favorite players in this spot. Yeah, so he's a sleeper. He's like a late round sleeper, but he killed the combine.
Late round in terms of like the overall draft, like he'll be a 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's like the projection with this draft.
They're on the clock.
Okay, Tennessee's on the clock, man. Tennessee's on the clock. Here we go, man. 9 minutes, 45 seconds.
What could they be doing here? Obviously.
Yeah. Okay, so Cam Ward, right?
Cam
You're
Ward.
thinking, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say something is going to happen in the top 5 that isn't what everybody is saying. But as of right now, I mean, one is locked in. It's Cam Ward. Cleveland, I think it's going to be interesting what they do. Everyone's saying Hunter now. Like, that's easily the betting favorite. But I don't know. We'll see.
Grant, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for hanging out, stopping in. Yeah, this is my brother. He's gonna be streaming the top 10 picks, and he's gonna come back in when the
Bills are up.
When the Bills pick at 30,
if they
which
do.
is probably gonna be around like 11 p.m.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll be up.
Jaden Higgins. Yeah, for the wide receivers. I like Higgins.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not blown away with Jaden Higgins.
I think there's a lot of good like 3rd, 4th round wideouts in this class, but there's really not a guy like last year, dude. I was in love with Brian Thomas. Obviously, I like Leggett. I mean, the no-brainers, Harrison, Neighbors. Who's a kid from Washington State? Is it
Kyle Williams?
Yeah. Where's he being mocked?
Bro, outside of this first, like when you leave the first round,
it's just a crapshoot.
Like for context, like this draft, you're gonna get like a similar quality player at 30 that you are at 60-ish.
Right. That's why I don't hate the idea if the Bills do trade again compared to last year.
Yeah, but there's also teams that are looking to move up for like Jackson Dart, like, or if Sanders starts to fall.
Or, yeah, like climb, like the guys like the Giants or whatever climbing back in if Shador is there or something.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe that the draft is actually here, man. All the speculation, all the podcasts, all the videos. Yeah, dude, I'm saying. Trey Harris. Dude, I like Trey Harris, but I think with him, he doesn't really do one exceptional thing, but he does a lot of things pretty good. I think he has a chance to grow though, which is I think Carolina in round 2 makes the most sense for Trey Harris. I like him a lot though. Alfonso, bro, how you doing, man? Thanks so much for hopping in. Dart,
No.
Scattaboo, okay, yeah.
I like Scatterbo.
Drop just some of your guys' like draft crushes or like not necessarily Jets related, but just guys that you like. I can't believe, yeah, dude. Like I said, I can't believe that the draft's actually here.
Yeah, it
I've done
feels
so much homework on this class, dude.
see,
So
that's
much
where I'm
homework.
different. Last year I had a much better feel for the class compared to this year.
By the way, can you guys hear the TV at all? I want to get it like a little high so you
Yeah, I
guys
was
can
gonna
like
say,
kind of
give
hear
it-
what's going on.
Give it a few more clicks up.
But dude, like sports stuff on YouTube, it just like
Oh, the copyright
Yeah.
crap.
Isaiah
I
Bond.
think we'll be all right. That's the Texas wideout.
Yeah, one of them.
He's good.
Can't hear it. Okay, I'll try to turn up a little bit.
Carson, I'm not even gonna try.
Schlesinger, yeah. He's that linebacker from UCLA.
Okay.
Super athletic, good production, not a lot of experience, but really what's shooting him up the board was his expectation was like 235, 240,
Mhm.
but he weighed in like 20 pounds heavier.
Okay.
So people are like, dude, this guy we thought was like this lighter,
Yeah,
more
but now
athletic
he's,
tight end,
like,
but
clearly bulking up.
yeah, well, yeah, so he weighed in at a heavier number. What are the Jets' chances of, or what are our chances of going wide receiver and with who?
I don't think it would be the worst thing, but 7 it just feels a little high.
You guys hear it now? So Connor Hughes just dropped a report saying that Ted McMillan is now back in play with the Jets at 7. Okay, cool.
Who's your dream pick for the Jets?
Too loud now.
Like in reality, not like, Carter.
I mean, honestly, like I'm gonna be cool with a lot of different players at the Jets because we have a lot of holes, and it's like year 1 of Aaron Glenn, year 1 of brand new general manager and Muji.
I'm
not-
not Jet Central is GM. The pick, assuming the board falls how we think it's gonna fall.
Yeah, I would shoot for Membu.
Okay.
Picks in Tennessee Titans.
Solidify the tackles.
Yeah, and so another kind of issue too with the Jets, when you look ahead to 2026, because these guys aren't making it's not like the Bills or the Steelers or the Giants, right? Where it's like all in, they need wins.
Yeah.
With the Jets, it's like a long-term build.
Yeah. It's not everything rides on this year.
Yeah, so with the O-line, if you don't take a right tackle or you don't find a solution in this class, you have Olu last year under contract left tackle. You have Tippmann in the last year of his deal.
You saw the USC kid, what's his name?
AVT, but he in like after this upcoming year, he's gonna be a free agent.
Man, that's quick.
John Simpson will be a free agent.
Yep.
And we still won't have a right tackle and we won't have any depth. So it's like
it just makes so much sense for the future outlook.
Yeah, like of course, like you're locking down that last position for this year, but like looking ahead, it would suck to enter an offseason, free agency in the draft, saying, okay, we have to get 2 starting guards, 1 backup guard, 1 backup tackle, and a starting right tackle.
Yeah.
That's 5 players that you have to just dump millions into and draft resources. So kind of a long-term play with the but if the Jets go Warren, no one's gonna well, I shouldn't say no one, but
yeah, I think
O-line,
but a nice tight end, I think would be a good security blanket for Fields, a young quarterback, whether it's this year, next year. I think, Membru, whatever his name is, and Warren are the 2, I think, best picks for the Jets this year. All right, here we go. He's up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can you guys hear it? Here comes Goodell. Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Of course, it was expected, but we're here. Things are rolling. Things are moving. Jets are going to be on the clock here in
soon.
Pretty soon, man. Pretty soon. So we got Cleveland coming up here at spot number 2. By the way, I kind of said this at the start of the stream. I might be a little behind because we're streaming it through the Spectrum app, and then I'm streaming it through here, and there's always a delay because I'm going through StreamYard. So I might be a little behind.
Garbage.
Oh shoot!
I knew it, dude. Some shit was gonna happen.
Jags are trading up to 2, man.
Carter.
No, I think they're gonna go get Hunter. They're
dude, they just
dude, this is crazy, man. The Jaguars are at spot number 2 now. They just traded up.
Bro, watch Cleveland take Shador at 5. People are gonna hate, but I would like that.
I was thinking about that, man. I was thinking about that. Dude, this is nuts. And then now, okay, who do
The volume one.
what?
He's saying it might be a little loud, so just be careful.
Oh yeah, cool. Good looks.
Maybe like right when he announces the picks, turn it up a little bit.
Got you. Yeah, that trade me,
Dude.
So okay, I need the full list. I need a full breakdown to see what Cleveland just got. I don't want to go on social media though because I don't want to get this pick spoiled.
I won't spoil anything.
Yeah, this just blew up the draft. Who, bro? All these mock drafts that are coming out just day after day after day. Kuiper, McShay, Jeremiah. No one had. I mean, there's got to be thousands of mock drafts out there. Like,
okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Browns receive 5th overall pick, 36th overall pick in this year's draft. So
great.
4th rounder in this year, and the Jacksonville Jaguars next year 1st round pick.
Dude, that's honestly a great deal for Cleveland.
Jags receive 2nd overall pick, obviously, 4th and a 6th in this draft. So it looks like they swapped 4th rounders and they received a 6th, but they gave up their 1st, 2nd, and next year's 1st to move up 3 slots.
This is freaking insane, man. I guess, okay, so Q, you got Travis Hunter going to Jacksonville?
It has to be.
That's a great haul for Cleveland. Yeah,
that's a great move. I love that for Cleveland.
So what do you think assuming that this is going to be Travis Hunter here, what do you think the Browns do at 5?
That's what I just said. Imagine they go Shador. I mean, I can see them trading down again.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, because now if you're the Browns at 5, you can now take Shador, and it's like we're fine because we still have the 1st pick in round 2. We now have 36 too.
Yep. And now you don't have to worry about the Saints. You know, I don't care, man. Like the Browns, everyone is assuming they're not going quarterback. They need a young quarterback. So like, unless the Giants do some crazy junk here, New England's not,
Yeah.
God, the way the board fell for New England, especially now that somebody's already traded up, I feel like they're just dying to trade down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go Campbell at 4.
Neither would I. Yeah, the whole Campbell thing is just a little.
I wonder if that makes Mason Graham fall now, though, because everybody was mocking him to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, could
he go to Cleveland? I mean,
here, let's let me guys know. Do you guys want me to? NFL Network's on a great site for it. Let me see. I could put the draft tracker up on the screen.
Picks in.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Dude, this is up there with the Daniel Jones like surprise. Remember when we were streaming that draft?
Yeah, dude, 2019. That was crazy.
But remember, just like, what the hell?
Actually, dude, I don't know if I want to share the screen because it's just gonna pop up before
Goodell.
Yeah. Damn.
Do you want me to grab my laptop?
Let's trade back and get Jet Central merch. Well, no, because I would put it on the screen so everyone could see it,
Bet.
just so it's like,
Yeah.
just looks a little bit better.
Mhm.
Let's trade back, dude. I'm down. And I
Let's
got
keep moving
JC
up.
merch coming, man. I know we keep talking about it. I know exactly what I want to do, but I'm just kind of waiting. I don't know, kind of a little bit of a perfectionist with it.
Dude, you got to bring back the OG logo. I could bring it on for the stream if they want to see it. I just got that in my my drawer. That shirt is tight.
Yeah, it's a heavier fabric. Yeah, what a great haul for Cleveland, dude.
Yeah.
If you're a Browns fan right now,
dude. You basically got 3 first rounds. So you moved to 5. They had 36 overall, and this draft is like
starter.
And you get next year's first. That's insane to move down 3 slots when you have so many holes on that team that they need to fill.
Dude, if Sanders goes to the Browns at 5, I'm not gonna hate that. I'm not gonna hate because
Remember, I was telling you, I was like, don't be shocked if they take him at 2. I haven't seen any rumors for that, but every single year, the NFL Network people and everything, there's stuff that happens that you can't foresee.
I
agree.
Is it fit or is this commercial?
It should be. It's been in for a minute now.
This is freaking nuts, man. 400 people in the chat, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging. There's probably a million streams going on. Taking the time to show with us, dude. It means the world. Thank you, guys.
What are you saying, Hunter?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Travis Hunter because I mean Carter.
I know
they just have good.
They have Allen. They have the Georgia kid. A little bit more.
You guys hear it? Okay. Carter to Jags is Phoenix's bet. Okay.
I could see either or. They're both so talented.
I've been following you for years. I got nothing. What am I doing? What do you mean, bro?
Merch, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. But that logo was like before the virus. Like that was super.
Yeah, no, that's the OG. I remember going to the store and helping you set it up.
I like the profile picture.
Watch they just take Genty or something crazy.
Grant, thank you, man.
Ugh.
It's the Jags. Anything's possible.
That's true.
Dude, I can't believe that Cleveland got that big of a haul to slide back a couple picks. They're just talking right now.
And it's not a player, like it's not a team that's moving up for a quarterback. Usually you'll see a team give up a huge haul just to move up 2 picks if they're going for a QB. But I feel like you rarely see it with D linemen or whatever.
Yep.
Hauls like that. You see trades, but to get that much in return.
None of these other dress teams matter. Bro, dude, crazy, man. Made me tear up and get emotional freaking on draft night, man.
Especially with that 500.
Let's see.
All right, get to the pick, dog.
Man, I can't wait for this, dude. Oh my god. Here we go.
2025 NFL Draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars select
Travis Hunter, dude.
Florida. Interesting.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I've been like sitting here picturing him in a Browns uniform for months or for weeks.
Probably like, yo, we're gonna let you do what you do.
Damn, dude. Travis Hunter's going to Jacksonville.
I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, do your thing. Who saw that coming, man? Who saw that coming? No, take the best player at 7. I mean, it's interesting because like you'd listen to Darren Muji, and from the sound of it, like it really feels like he's okay with this roster. So, and you know, factoring it's the first year of the regime, you want to make a statement. You can't whiff on the player. It does. I mean, there's a lot of signs pointing to BPA. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Membu. I don't know if it's going to be Warren. I don't know if it's going to be an edge rusher like Jalen Walker or Shamar Stewart or Michael Williams. It feels like Jade Barham, Mason Graham is potentially in play. Dude. Phoenix. I think Carter goes to the Giants. Not on your bingo card. Travis and Denzel. Yeah, about to be crazy. I think when it comes to the whole like Travis Hunter like debate, like, oh, what position should he play in? I don't think it's like that big of a deal. Like, I think it's a good problem to have. It's almost like picture if Garrett Wilson can line up and play corner and look like a top 10 corner. Like, all of a sudden it just like feels like, whoa, that's sweet, right? But I think with Hunter, I want to like he's so good. He's so good at oh yeah, there's the original one.
The OG. Y'all ain't got that.
Yeah,
you need to bring this back, dude. This is a dope shirt.
Yeah, a lot of the sites online they don't offer that color, like that Hunter green.
Did you ever sell this one? Or is it just like
yeah, but I did it out of the house.
Should do it auction.
So I made them
it's a dope
at
shirt,
a local
dude.
place.
I mean, I'm never getting rid of this one, but
yeah, it's cool.
Junk don't fit me no more.
But JT, call UCM quickly. Yeah, dude, it's been a minute since I talked to him. He's doing big things, man. He just had a kid.
Talking about
he got married. Yeah, he got married. I went to the I was actually in his wedding, but it's been a while since I talked to him.
The one your mouse was just on.
That's what.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter Green. Yeah. So anyway, what I was going to say before, with Travis Hunter, he's such a dynamic, such an explosive player. As a team, you just took him at 2. You just traded up all those picks. I want to dictate him getting the football. I don't want to just put him at corner and then teams throw away from him.
If I was a coach, granted, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would, if I drafted Travis Hunter, I would have him as full-time on offense and put him in on obvious passing situations on defense as corner. That's
that's fair.
So, hold on, let's see. Is he from Jacksonville?
I don't know if he's from Jayville, but he's from Florida. Crazy, man. Travis Hunter's a Jaguar.
I do like the bold move from Jacksonville with the new coach and everything being just like, F it, we're going for it.
Got you, bro. Got you. Who would you draft, Ian? I would go Membu. I'm cool with Warren. I'm cool with an edge rush. I'm really fine with a lot of different players, to be honest. Like, I can't see, unless we go quarterback, I can't see a situation where I'm going to be irritated. And it's just really where it's just the state of the Jets. Unfortunately, we're not in a position where we only have one team need.
Where your Jets, I mean, there's not even one guy close enough to take at 7 at safety, but who are the Jets safeties going into next year?
Andre Cisco, who was a Jaguar.
Yep.
Played at Syracuse. I really like him. And then the other one is just kind of up in the air.
You guys saw
Tony Adams, but
the white dude from West Virginia or whatever?
Nah.
What's his name?
Ashton Davis. Yeah, he played at Cal.
Yeah.
Same colors as white.
Yeah.
West Virginia, though. How do we feel about bringing Chad Hansen back? I don't know. I don't think he's still in the league, man. Mambu. Kelvin is more athletic, in my opinion, than Membu. I think Kelvin Banks has a higher floor than Membu. But the question with Kelvin, can you kick him over to the right side? If you don't think he can, he's not going to be the pick. Also, do the Giants pick Carter or Sanders here?
If it was me, you need a you need a quarterback in the future. I know it's overdrafting, but I would say Sanders. Dayball and them should have been fired this year, in my opinion. But here we go.
Yeah. I'll
they're going to go Carter, I think.
Abdul Carter's a Giant.
So they're just done with Thibodeau, it seems like.
Why?
I don't think they picked up his 5th year.
I got to double check.
They have who do they do? They just traded for last year.
They got Brian Burns.
Brian Burns, very good.
Dexter Lawrence on the inside.
Thibodeau. Thibodeau and Carter both play that same position. You're not going to take Burns out of it So you can have a rotation, but I feel like you want him out on the field every play,
Yeah, that's fair.
and then just put Thibodeau out on obvious third downs, send everyone at him.
His might get traded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like he doesn't.
Yeah, that's another thing, dude. Because I don't know if you've been keeping up with the mock drafts, but like all of them that were coming out yesterday and like over the last 2 days, it was Genty going to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I've heard that start to happen, but I never believed it.
So now that is off the board, is Genty just going to go to the rate? Well, the Browns need a running back.
Browns need damn near everything. So I feel like on the board for the Browns, I could see them going. Don't be surprised if New England goes Mason Graham here. Also, I know they just overpaid that guy, but at D tackle,
You can argue Genty to New England with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, you could. I just don't know if Campbell's the guy at 4. He doesn't seem like a top 5 pick to me.
This is crazy. I got to write down this stuff. Okay, so Ward went 1. Jacksonville trades for Hunter. Carter goes 3 to the Giants. 4. New England on the clock. Dude, the Jets pick is going to be coming up fast, man. Shamar Stewart.
No.
I like the upside, man. I like the upside.
Ton of upside, but
Abdul Carter will never live up to the GOAT, Ja'Kai Blythe.
I forgot about that guy.
So,
legend.
Browns going Sanders at 5 helps the Jets at 7. I fear the Raiders are looking at Membu.
Come on, Cleveland. Dude, pull the trigger on Sanders. That'd be tight.
I'm gonna root for Sanders at the next level. Unless he goes to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Giants, but it would be really cool to see Sanders with Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it would be like, what are they going in with? Flacco as their starter this year? Pickett?
Well, the buzz too is okay. We don't. I mean, I know how you feel about it, but the Cousins trade.
Oh.
See, my thing with Membu to the Raiders, dude, is their 3rd round pick last year, DJ Clays, played pretty well. And granted, it's a new regime coming in, new coaching staff and stuff. But like, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a Raiders fan, or like, for example, if I'm like, imagine if maybe we drafted say Carter Warren looked like really solid after year 1, and then the next year we just draft his replacement. I just feel like it's a little sketchy to do that. But I don't know. I mean, the Raiders picks are all over the place. Like the mock picks are all over the place.
The Raiders go. It seems like it's Genty is the main one I see, but otherwise that's O-line. It's like somebody who falls. They sort of have him going with.
Yeah,
Genty. They made his own room for the draft.
No. But another thing too with the Raiders, do they go Mason Graham if he's on the board? Because he was projected to go 5. And then you go Crosby.
Wilkins healthy coming into the year?
I think so. Yeah,
I think
so you'd have Wilkins, Graham, Crosby.
It would be not a bad move if Genty's there, though. I take him if I'm the Raiders.
No idea with what Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll, man, he'll just do the craziest stuff.
Does he? I mean, I feel like they always miss on their early picks in Seattle.
Patriots got screwed. I love it. Dude, I'm not sold on Will Campbell, man. I have questions. I have questions.
I feel like Patriots were just praying for Shador to go in the top 3 so they could get Campbell or Hunter.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, dude, I'm going Membu. Now that I say that about Will Campbell, like, watch he's, the Jets will pick him. But
which wouldn't be
it wouldn't be a bad pick.
I just think he's a guard. I just think he's a guard.
So the thing is with Will Campbell, so right now his arm length would be bottom 10.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
The big knock on him.
And then the wingspan is the shortest wingspan measured at the combine since 2011. So you have a small wingspan for tackle.
Okay.
So you have a small wingspan plus a small arm length.
Right.
And it showed up in college where teams would, take
advantage of that.
And granted, like Campbell's looked good. Campbell, I mean, there's some dominant play from Will Campbell in the SEC for 3 straight years.
And he's like a dog.
He's big, like he's a big dude. Yeah, he's a great leader,
He's
super
like-
athletic.
I feel like if I had him and I was a coach, granted, again, don't know what I'm talking about, I would try to mold him into like that Quentin Nelson, like Mauler guard.
There are great defensive tackles in this draft. No on Graham. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Mason Graham plays too much like Quinnen for my taste.
Yeah, I feel like if Jets went, I wouldn't go interior D-line if I was the Jets.
I would go interior in round 2.
Yeah,
and get like a big
not
run
at
stuffer.
7, not at 7.
But if you go edge rusher at 7,
Mm-hmm.
do you come back and go D-line again in round 2? That might be like a little.
Who are your guys' edge rushers going in the next year? You have homeboy coming back from FSU, right?
So Jermaine Johnson, but he's coming off the Achilles.
Okay.
And then Will McDonald.
Yeah, who flashed early last year, but didn't he tail off a little bit?
There were moments where, like statistically speaking, McDonald was good.
Yeah, he's Iowa State, right?
Yeah, he was like a mid for sure.
I like him, but he's so skinny.
Yeah, so that would be kind of the push for a bigger, like Michael Williams or Shamar Stewart, like a run stopping, edge setting type of edge rusher.
Just like third down edge rusher, like somebody who could play against the run and stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is too, man, it's like these guys didn't draft any of these players.
Right.
So who knows how this team
how they view, like how the coaches view the current roster.
Yeah, bro, like with Jacksonville, new GM, new head coach.
Yep. And they just
no one saw that coming.
No.
And
not
so now
one person talked about Jacksonville trading up.
And so now moving forward, James Gladstone is always going to be looked at as like, hey, this is the aggressive GM. This is someone who's willing to put picks on the line. We don't have that answer right now with the Jets. Jet Superfan, you say, dude, 500 people in the chat, man. Thanks so much for hanging out, dude. That's awesome. Crazy, man. I appreciate everyone. Thanks a ton. I say 3 tackles in a row. So who would it be? Campbell, Membu, Banks?
I would not go tackle if I was Cleveland. Picked him for New England.
Oh, yeah, Nick just called that. Great call, Nick. All right, we'll turn it up. God, who's it going to be? Okay, didn't go Genty. I'm cool with it.
He seems like a Vrabel kind of guy.
My issue though with Camp, and like who knows, maybe everyone's dead wrong, and he's an anomaly. He's a great player. He's a great left tackle.
God, he looks
but
I don't know.
I just don't like let's check Green. I don't like reaching so high in the top 5 for a position of need. I mean,
he kind of looks like Peter Strager.
Yeah, kind of. Wow, Campbell. Mitt, what's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well. Membu has to be the pick. We need to run the ball, period. Okay, here's... Oh, God, I got to go to the bathroom. Yeah, Cleveland on the clock, 8 minutes. Dude, do they go Shedeur Sanders? Do they just go tackle, play it safe? Do they go Ashton Genty?
I would go Sanders. Chubb's done. I could see Genty.
Or do they go...
But now they have ammunition. If Sanders falls, they have 36, and then next year's first. They have so much ammunition to trade back up if they want to.
That's a good point. That's actually a freaking really good point.
So they could just go BPA right here and then try to trade up for Dart or Sanders.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, hurry up.
Dave's gonna man the chat. Dude, nuts, man.
It's gonna be Mason Graham. Is that for the Jets? I feel like that wouldn't be a bad pick, but it'd be kind of surprising. Do the Browns go Mason Graham? They could go in so many different directions. You could go Genty, you could go Sanders, you could go Graham, you go O-line. Browns won't take Genty. We have to take Membu. Our running backs will be so happy. I agree. I think the Jets should go O-line and just solidify that for the next 5 years with like 3 young studs on it. Good linemen make good skill players into great skill players. Totally agree. You see all the great skill players in the league usually are playing behind a really good O-line. And if they're not and they're as above it, then they're just crazy elite. Sanders deserves better than the Browns. Yeah, picks in for Cleveland. But also part of me feels like with Sanders, he fits that mold well of going to a bad, quote unquote, franchise, almost like he did going to Jackson State, going to Colorado, and sort of being that underdog and taking over there. I sort of like him on Cleveland. If that was me. Ian's back. He's going to jump in.
Picks in.
Picks in. Cleveland.
You're freaking insane. Sorry, I keep bumping into the mic. Sanders deserves better than.
But my point was like, I think he sort of likes that aspect of joining a team that is in a bad situation and sort of being the savior, like he did in Colorado.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Jackson State.
Yep. Bro, Sanders going to
This would
Cleveland
be
would be
sick.
it helps the Jets at 7. Billy's calling Mason Graham to the Jets. I mean, bro, on a lot of people's boards, he's the 3rd best player in the draft. So, like, from a value perspective, like, that's pretty, it's.
I feel like he has such a high floor, but I don't know how high his ceiling is.
That's fair. Warren to the Jets. I could see that. Hey, I can see that.
I see a lot of comments, people saying no Warren, no Warren. That's interesting because he seems like a good fit. And a good tight end is such a good security blanket. Like, even if it's a bad QB, they're always going to go to the flat to the tight end. Like, look how good Bauer's season was playing with whoever at quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kyle says, what's up?
Oh, shit, your boy?
Yeah.
What's up, Kyle?
Genty for the Browns. Okay.
That'd be sick.
Bogle saying Sanders is going to be a bust.
Could be. I don't know. He seems like a solid player to me. I don't want to overthink it. A boy could stand in the pocket and be accurate. That's all you need.
It's so funny, like the split. Like,
yeah, see,
Katie's like, I want Warren.
Please
no Warren. I like Warren, but 7 is too high. Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah, that's fair. But this draft, there isn't a lot of guys that are the top 10 talents. They're all coming off the board.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, what direct again, man? Because you're sitting there you're putting together mock drafts. You're doing, you're watching all these guys, and you're trying to come up with like how the draft layout's going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not in one situation, one scenario.
Nobody called us.
Did you think, okay, what are the Browns' options at 5? You know what I mean? All right, here we go.
Shador, come on.
Mason Graham going to Cleveland, dude. I didn't see that coming.
I mean, that really helps Garrett.
Mason Graham going to that. Yeah, it's a good point.
Interesting, because
so
you got so much back for that trade. I really see them trading up.
Kyle, what are you doing, man? Keep
that money flowing, son.
No, dude, take that back, Kyle. Come on, man. This draft is soft. Yeah, it's definitely not considered one of the better ones.
But I like that there's so many like second round talents that it's fun to see who's going to work and who's not compared to like obvious picks, But who's moving up?
Yeah, weird fit.
What was that, Jim?
Look like Mike.
Yeah, for real.
No, dude, Graham. I just haven't really thought about that fit that much,
Yeah, it wasn't never in the realm of possibilities.
It's almost like Cleveland because we didn't hear about this throughout the entire draft cycle. Maybe it was Cleveland just saying like, "Hey, we cannot turn down this offer. Let's just get to 5 and just say,
BPA,
okay,
that's what I said."
And
then trade back into the first. I mean, they have 36 overall. You know how easy it would be for them to give that and a second rounder to move maybe to 20 in front of Pittsburgh to take a QB?
That's another interesting kind of play here, or like interesting like.
And you got like a day one starter on the D line.
Yeah. But to be fair, you can make that argument just saying like, okay, they could have went with Hunter or Carter at 2 and then just trade back up anyway.
Yeah, but now you have so much more ammunition to do that. And it doesn't mess you up next year. Dude, because if they traded up without doing that trade, they would have to probably give up next year's second, third, maybe a first. Like now they have 2 first-round picks next year. So you have so much more value to just move around. And they have 36, which is damn near a first-round pick anyway.
One thing that we have to keep in mind, or, Browns fans and Steelers fans should keep in mind, it's like if the Browns don't trade up, you risk Sanders going to Pittsburgh and him potentially playing in your division 4.
Yep.
Because
like y'all should have took me at 5.
Yeah, dude, because if Sanders goes to the Steelers and pans out and Cleveland rolls out Cousins or Pickett and they get 5 wins next year, 6 wins,
fan base is gonna freak out.
Yeah, like dude, like if I was a Browns fan, I would like legitimately be pissed.
I agree, yeah. And then it's like you start, even though he's obviously a good coach, like how long with this Stefanski stuff are we gonna let him keep just like running it into the ground?
Yeah, neither did I, Al. Neither did I.
Yeah, I don't think nobody saw Cleveland doing that.
That's crazy. Okay, so
all right, here we go. This is a big pick here. Jets are up after them.
Yep. So Cleveland went with Graham. I'm just writing everything down on this notebook right here. Just trying to keep track of these names. This draft is moving, man. This draft is moving. Membu's a reach in your eyes. He's not a perfect player. Kelvin Banks, in my opinion, does have a higher floor than Membu. But I think Membu's upside, him only being 21 years old, with that athletic profile, that type of, potential as a pass blocker, I think he could get better in the running game too.
Who's the Jets OC?
Tanner Ingstrand.
Huh?
Yeah, he came with Glenn.
Yeah. What was he in Detroit?
Raiders picks in.
Yeah, this draft is moving, son.
You know what's interesting too? Like one of the big trade up candidates was Chicago for Genty, Denver for Genty.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think they might just go Omarion, whatever.
All right, here we go. The Raiders.
Big pick.
Oh my God. Okay, Ashton Genty.
Good.
To the Raiders.
I like that.
We are sitting in a great spot, New York. Basically,
everyone's on the board that you would have assumed.
Ward, Hunter, Carter, Campbell. Dude, we're in a great spot, man. We're in a great spot. We can go in a bunch of different directions.
So you're on Membu?
I think it's going to be Membu. Yeah. I think it's going to be Membu. But Tyler Warren's here. I'm cool with it. If they want to go with an edge rusher, Jalen Walker,
cool?
Jackson Dart.
Well, they want to go there now. But, like, realistically, if they went, like, McMillan, would you like that?
I like McMillan a lot. I think there's probably better options on the board, but I do like Ted. It would be I think it would be a solid pick.
Yeah.
It helps the team. Like, that's the beauty of this whole thing with the Jets specifically.
There's so many guys that immediately could come in and help.
Yeah, like you're getting a humongous upgrade at a probably position of need because the Jets have so many positions of need, So it's like I said, it's not like the Bills where it's just like, okay, D-line, corner, safety.
Yeah, obvious what we need. Wide out,
Yeah. And you're at 30 where you're like, oh God, we have our 5 players. There's a chance that they all could be gone. And now we're like, all right, fine. We like this guy, so we'll take him.
Jets have their pick of the litter, if you will.
Dude, Genty to the Raiders at 6. All this. But then again, right, the Jets could potentially go freaking Kelvin Banks too, man. They could go Shamar Stewart, Michael Williams. I think
Don't go Shamar Stewart.
You don't like Shamar Stewart?
No.
EB Camp, bro. Thank you a ton. You do not have to do that, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Don't let us down. Of Warren, Membu, and Tet. Tet has the biggest upside. Who are the Bills taking next? Hey, we'll we'll get to.
There isn't. Bills are gonna. Malachi Stark's gonna fall to the Bills. You heard me? I'm speaking that into existence. I don't actually think that, but that would be ideal. I like him.
But I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Shout out, Mike. Okay, with the 10. That's 5 each. You heard me?
Surprising and not surprising at the same time. Yeah.
Shout out, Mike.
Jets are using auto pick. Yeah. Dude, the first pick in the Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji era, man. I cannot wait. Like all those just man, this is insane. And just a quick heads up, when the pick comes in, I'm gonna film like a reaction video separately. So people that want to watch a whole stream just can kind of get that just that snapshot of the 7th overall pick.
Mike only donate 10.
What?
Mike only donate 10.
Mike?
Yeah, come on.
0 expectations. Membu, don't spoil the pick. Yeah. So I'm behind. But yeah, I got the phone pulled up. So I don't know if there's gonna be like 7 minutes left on the clock. So I'm gonna wait until like the pick comes in and then move forward. Warren, Membu, Shamar Stewart, Jalen Walker, Michael Williams, Terrell McMillan.
Is Michael Williams the other DN on Georgia?
Yeah, but
I like him a lot. I think
the bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's more the run stuffer, lengthy, edge setting 4-3 D end.
Right.
And Walker's more like stand-up explosion,
Versatile.
pass rush, closing type of like Von Miller type of player. And Michael is more like that Jadeveon Clowney, like just maybe 3 to 10 sacks per season, but like you're gonna get like stout against the run and setting that edge and stuff like that. Yeah, what are your 800 people, man? That's crazy. I appreciate everyone hanging out. I know, I appreciate everyone hanging out. Everyone like the stream, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Member or Warren? 800. Yeah, dude, it's great. Oh yeah, Jade Barron. Yeah, that's another one that like Todd McShay just kept pounding it. Like Jade Barron kept talking about it. Albert Breer linked Barron to the Jets. Adam Schefter linked Barron to the Jets. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be on the offensive with these two guys. With Membu, I guess we got to throw Banks into the mix too. With Banks, Membu, and Warren on the board, I think it's going to be one of those three.
I agree. Unless there's some crazy trade up.
I just feel like I don't want to completely rule out edge rusher just because of like this late smoke. I don't think it'll be Barron.
I just don't think the edge rushers are strong enough right now to take it 7.
Yeah, it's fair. Like
especially when it's not as much of a need as the other positions we're talking about. But then you look at Aaron Glenn, maybe he wants to just load up on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, chill with this dart stuff, man. I know you guys are ahead of me, so I don't. That's why I'm not really looking at the chat. I don't want to be spoiled. I don't know if it's already came up yet. I got the phone up for the instant reaction.
Jackson Dart would be a disaster at 7.
If you want to go quarterback here, I would just go Sanders.
Hard agree.
But I'm not taking a quarterback in the first round, man. Like Justin Fields is only 26 years old.
Yeah,
has a ton of potential.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Fields. He still has potential, yes, but it's the same story every year. I wish Pittsburgh just played him more last year so we could have seen more than 5 games, but
I want to scroll down, but I don't want to
You're
have the
afraid
pick
to.
spoiled. Yeah.
I think it'll be Membu.
They'll just go with the smart pick, like, or not the smart pick, but the kind of like the safe pick, like, okay, BPA / position of need, not the sexiest pick in the world, but just kind of solidify
Just
the off.
solid. Just solid. Yeah. That's what I would do. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, the
think that's
draft
like-
is literally gone outside of
But the players are the same.
the players are the same.
Expected Hunter 2, Graham 5, and that stayed the same. So it's in. No trade.
Picks in.
Do your thing.
These teams have been very economical with their use of time. The picks have been coming in quickly. The New York Jets is in with their new brain trust, their new head coach, Aaron Glenn. Let's see what direction they go. The second pick.
I'm freaking sweating over here. It's 7th overall pick. It's not even like we have the 1st overall pick.
Whatever.
All right, so Jets. Goodell came walking up the stage. Picks in for the New York Jets. Here we go.
The New York Jets select Armand.
Hey, Armand Membu, let's freaking go. Offensive tackle, Missouri. Just lock in the O-line. Lock it in, man. Good pick. Dave over on the stream. Got the stream going. Let's freaking go, man. Armand Membu. I'm happy that they just didn't overthink it. Just make the solid, just fix the offensive line. One of my favorite, let me turn this down a little bit. One of my favorite things about this pick, and we were talking about it earlier in the stream. When you look ahead to 2026, we have a hole at left guard. John Simpson will be a free agent. We will have a hole at right guard. AVT will be a free agent. Joe Tippmann will be in the last year of his deal. Myers will be gone as far as depth is concerned. Max Mitchell will be gone as far as depth is concerned. So if we don't go with a right tackle here, we would have to then figure out right tackle along with right guard, left guard, and find depth pieces. Like the amount of draft assets that in millions of dollars that would take to fix that offensive line in year 2 of Muji and Glenn, it just feels like a big overhaul. So we got it down. Man, Membu, I love the upside. I love the pass protecting upside. I think he could get a lot better in the running game, but man, let's freaking go. Let's go. First pick of the Muji Glenn era.
Let's go.
I'm sweating over here, so that's why I look kind of crazy. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets. Let's go. Membu. All right, now, oh my God, there's so many comments. I'm just scrolling all the way down. So Carolina's picks in. Holy
dude, it literally came in like 30 seconds after the Jets picked.
Yeah, so how are we feeling about this? Trade up for Warren? Can we talk about trading for Michael Mayer? Yeah, dude. Michael Mayer, throw Dallas Goedert into the mix, but Michael Mayer obviously has bad age, which is a big factor in this whole thing too. Not a sexy pick, but the one we needed.
Agreed.
Caleb's not feeling it. I'm neither excited or disappointed. Yeah, like
that's not a bad thing always.
Yeah, it's not the sexy pick, Like the O-line whenever you're drafting an O-line, it's never going to be like, 20 touchdowns or fantasy player, But it kind of is that precursor that allows
every good team, dude. It's just like people want to overlook it, but you need to solidify the O-line. It just is what it is. It's what Detroit did. That was the first thing they did while they were still crappy.
Banks and Connerly are better. He's only highly rated because he's 20. I mean, if you go back to like before that, like if you like looked at mock drafts in like October, November, Membu was being mocked around like 15 to 20. So it's not like he came out of nowhere. It's not like he was some like random 4th round.
How does Membu compare to somebody like Becton?
Different types of players. Becton was like that humongous run stuffing.
And he was what, like 6 overall, 5 overall?
11, I believe.
Okay,
in 2019.
So similar draft spots.
Becton was bigger. Becton was bigger, and I would say better in the running game. But Membu's like more athletic.
In terms of prospect, how are they looked at? Like, are they looking at Membu as somebody who would have been like an easy top 10 pick Becton, I know he was sort of a wild card. Like he came on late.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting to think about that draft because the best one went last, which was Tristan Wirfs.
Worse, yeah.
Becton went ahead.
Andrew
Jedrick
Thomas.
Wills was at 10, and then Andrew Thomas at 4.
Thomas is good.
Yeah, Thomas is good. But
Who did Wills go to again? The Bucks.
And he's still like fantastic.
Okay.
Man, Armand Membu.
Dude, you got stud tackles back-to-back drafts. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, it just felt like, all the Jahdae Barron stuff. That kind of felt like a little overthinking it, a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the number.
Imagine. Yeah, it's true.
I feel like the number one thing to like remind yourself when you're doing the draft is just to not overthink the pick.
You wanted Warren. There's offensive line in the second round. That's true, but it's a risky game to play if you like Ronnie Stanley's don't grow on trees. Like a mid-round find. If you want the stud offensive lineman, chances are you gotta pick him in the top 15, no matter what class it is.
Yeah.
You can find diamonds in the rough, but the issue, I think, with waiting to find offensive linemen that you're projecting to be a starter is, what if he's not there?
Yep.
And then we're like, okay, well,
we'll take the third rounder in the second, and you don't know if you know what I mean. Like, it's just a thing to think about with the Bills, though. Having Brown and Dawkins as our Bills have a great O line.
Yeah,
and they both weren't top picks.
I gotta upload that quick little clip. I think I looked just super sweaty in it. I felt my heart going crazy. Dude, still, man, over 800 people hanging out, man. Bro, I appreciate everyone chilling. There's a million streams going on. You guys taking the time to chill with us. That's just crazy, man. It means the world. Kyle Jones, what's going on, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude, that's a good point.
Like, that was the last year they were garbage. All right, money rolling.
Alex, bro, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude. K, dude, bro, thanks. 7 for pick 7, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. You're always in hanging out. Oh, wait a second. Here's the
Panthers.
Here's the Panthers. Jalen Walker. McMillan is going 8.
They went wide out.
I freaking knew.
Back-to-back first round because they got Leggett. Remember they traded up last year?
Yeah, dude. I never bought the McMillan slide.
Agreed.
Never bought the McMillan slide, man.
I'm not super high on him, but I did not see him. People were talking about the Texas wideout going for no way.
You know what's so weird about this whole thing, man? And again, K, dude, bro, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. This whole week, right? It's been so much of Edge is going to be just going off the board. Like, they're going to be drafted a lot earlier. Yeah. And the board is literally
falling.
It looks very similar to like the mock draft 1.0s that were coming out
right before
in like February, January. Yeah.
Huge pick here.
Yeah, Michael, there we go. We get your Missouri guy. Bro, I watched Memu play for Missouri. He's a Rockville player. We're gonna run the ball like crazy with success. Great pick. Yeah, man. Love it. You have a twin? No, he's my little brother. Dude, Tedro McMillan, a freaking Carolina at 8. That's crazy.
They're trying to help Bryce out. I like it. They don't have like a wide out like that. You can just toss it up to. Leggett's a very much like he breaks a crazy post and you hit him for like a big run after catch.
Sorry, I'm trying to upload this video real quick. Now for run blocking in the second round, McMillan over Golden. Nah, bro. Yeah. Well, Golden does have the speed,
Yeah,
but McMillan has that kind of, the big catch radius, the size, the red zone
go up
threat.
and get it. Security blanket.
Picks in. Yeah, picks in for the Saints.
They better go Shador.
I'm going to say no. I think the Saints will go Jalen Walker.
I don't think they will, but I think they should go Shador. Don't overthink it, man. The dude is accurate. You need a young quarterback. Like
I think I would go with Shador, but
New Orleans needs some positive momentum, not just to like be picking in the top 15 every single year.
Yeah. The thing I like about Shador with the Saints is that he would be getting coaching from 3 former NFL quarterbacks. Kellen Moore, former NFL quarterback. Scott Tolzien is the quarterback coach. And then Doug Nussmeier is the OC. All 3 of those guys played in the NFL. You're in a dome, so you don't have to worry about the arm strength.
And especially with his style of play, like it's an old school style of play that those guys would probably be able to coach well.
Yeah.
That's a surprising thing. I thought Carolina was going to go D-line, just defense in general.
Me too, dude. Me too. That's crazy. I'm going to guess it's Jalen Walker to the Saints. Brandon Staley, 3-4 defense. I like Ted McMillan, man. I do.
I know you were high on him this whole time.
Who do we get? We got Armand Membu, bro. Armand Membu's coming to Jets, spot number 7. Paul saying Kelvin Banks to the Saints. Yeah, that's another thing too, man. It's like Saints.
But what's going on with Carr too?
Yeah, well, that whole thing's up in the air with the shoulder. It could miss the year, could not be.
Is it smoke? Is it?
But dude, the Saints need offensive linemen too.
They need a lot. They need D-line. They need offensive line. They need a quarterback. They need a lot.
I would say one big wide receiver.
Kamara's getting old as hell.
Yeah. But I could also see the Saints picking Garrett Nussmeier next year, Doug's son, who's like projected to be a top 5 pick from LSU.
What position?
QB next year. We need a tight end. Yeah, we do. We definitely need a tight end.
Yeah.
Shador to San Francisco.
It makes
if they don't want to pay Brock Purdy,
it's not gonna happen.
We need to go out and get Will Johnson. I think he could go. I think he could be in play for Miami.
Beast. Yeah, he's gonna be off the. No way that I don't think the Jets get there.
They're saying that he can drop because the medical isn't great, but
it was turf toe. That was the big issue this year. Why his production slid?
No, I don't think turf toe.
I'm almost positive it was, but
all right, here we go. New Orleans Saints. Oh, wow. Kelvin Banks. Okay, O-line. You called it before, Paul. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Thanks. Yeah. So Chicago, do they go Tyler Warren?
Chicago goes. Well, they just 86, the dude on Dallas. Who's their tight end?
No, I'm talking Chicago, not Dallas.
No, I know. Who is Chicago's tight end again?
Cole Kmet.
They're gonna go D-line. They should go D-line. They
need
a pass rusher.
I agree.
I would go the Georgia kid or Mike Green. Marshall. Is it Mike Green? Is that his name?
Yeah, Mike Green, yeah.
They should not go weapon again.
Dude, you know who's in a pretty good spot is the Niners at 11 for a defensive lineman.
Yeah,
they're going to get one of the Georgia players that they want. And the pick came in like that for the Bears.
All of them are, dude. This thing's flying.
Sanders will drop to Pittsburgh. That's kind of like the storyline that's taking place right now. Look at the current number watching. Yeah, dude, 600 people, bro. That's absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Chicago's going to be getting Tyler Warren. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't think that's a smart pick. I think Warren's a beast. Like, I like him a lot. But, like, if Caleb is supposed to be this good, you don't have to surround him with every resource you have. You have to build the team, not just give him here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's important for Dennis Allen to get an edge rusher.
They need a pass rusher to go along with homeboy from Washington.
Yeah, Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
I hope the Jets get Loveland. Yeah, I could see him being in play for Indy at 14.
Yeah. Everyone's saying Indy's going tight end. Like, everybody.
Could you see the Jets moving back up into the first round? I don't think so, because I think in the new regime you want to, let me turn this down. You want to be able to like kind of stockpile. Oh no. Sorry, I thought there was breaking news. I was going to say, you know, it's important for new head coaches and general managers to, you know, stockpile their teams with talent, but the Jaguars just traded up to 2 and gave away all these different picks. So, you know, how correct is that? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see it, but we don't have any sort of resume that we can look off of, you know, with Muji on how he likes to operate through NFL drafts. So yeah, Loveland won't drop that far. Sanders to Dallas, man, that would be insane. That'd be crazy. Membu is an important piece. All the best teams have solid offensive line. Yeah. Eagles, Buffalo Bills. I mean, we saw, you know, when the Bengals started to invest in the, you know, in the offensive line, like what happened there. We saw why the Kansas City Chiefs lost the Super Bowl because of the offensive line deficiencies. Detroit, I mean, look at that whole turnaround. Yeah, Green Bay, you know, they have some issues there, but it's, you know, I would say it's an above average offensive line. They're by the way, they're just doing the schedule release. The Bears pick is in, but yeah, we'll see how this whole thing goes, man. I can't believe that the board fell like this to the New York Jets. I'm really happy. May 14th. Okay. For the schedule release, that's in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Jets should play Giants week 1. Bro, you know who I want to play week 1? Pittsburgh Steelers, if they sign Aaron Rodgers. I think that'd be sweet. In MetLife Stadium, that'd be awesome. Don't overthink it. Love the pick. Yeah. Again, it's not the sexy pick. It's not the pick that, you know, he's not gonna be catching touchdown passes and putting up fantasy stats and, you know, being the face of the franchise, but it's going to be like kind of that glue pick. Kind of, and you know, one thing I will say too is that it's really nice to have 2 young tackles that we can 10 years can go by, and these 2 guys can still be our starting tackles. Absolutely insane. Okay, here's the Bears pick, Bears selection. Yeah.
Mongo's remarkable contribution to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire.
Sanders 49ers, yeah. Membu pick was a smart pick, not flashy, made sense.
Agreed.
Yeah, Rob. I agree.
Here we go. Never mind.
Let's see. Loveland or Golden. Warren to the Bears, yeah. Yeah, Mongo, RIP. Now we need a quarterback. I don't know if you're talking about the Jets or
the Bears go QB.
see. Mason Taylor's your only hope. I like Elijah Arroyo. Questions about the knee, but I think his upset's crazy. I actually think that was like one of the most common mock combos. All right, here we go. Bears pick.
Wow.
Oh, Loveland going to Chicago.
He was the first. That's Warren's better.
You think Warren's better?
Yeah.
I would have went edge rusher here, man.
Yep. I don't like it. I like Loveland. Like
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good,
I don't like
but
the pick, though. All right, I'm tapping out. I'll be back for the Bills pick in a little bit.
yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Text me if something happens that's crazy. All right, I'm gonna have it on in the room, but
Okay.
appreciate y'all. Oh my God, San Francisco's picks that
All right, yeah, 49ers picks in. These things are starting to fly in. Colson Loveland to the Bears, man. Loveland's better than Warren. They're two different types of tight ends. Oh shoot, yeah, Warren to the Dolphins. I think there's too many bigger issues for Miami. Like corner, they can go Will Johnson, they can go Barron. Could they go O-line? I don't see it. I could maybe see the Dolphins going edge rusher. Like if Jalen Walker's there, I think he fits because Miami runs a similar defense like the Baltimore Ravens. But Warren, Warren in Miami is kind of a interesting thing. I haven't even thought about really.
Even though he is such a great athlete, he can bump the ball so fast, it can really stretch the middle of the field so quickly. If you go 12 personnel, right, with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, if you go sub and put a defensive back on the field, this guy will maul the defensive back in the run game. If you go with a light clock and go,
absolutely nuts. Jets go draft Sanders. Dude, that's, one thing too that I'm kind of thinking about. I'm like, I don't know at what point in the draft is someone going to look to trade up with? Like Seattle makes sense as a team to trade back, maybe. LA Rams, I think, is probably a hot team to trade back. Volume's pretty loud. All right, cool. Let me turn it down a little bit. Defensive tackle or tight end around 2. Yeah, man, I'm really hoping for Tylee Williams from Ohio State. I think that'd be a sweet pick. Sanders falling around 2. I could see it, man. I could see it. Niners are going Tyler Warner, Matt Golden. Supposedly, like some of the latest buzz has been Walter Nolan to San Francisco. Milroe to Detroit. Interesting. I think they might go guard or edge rusher. Trade for wide receiver Chris Olave. The thing is with Olave, he came in the same draft class as Garrett Wilson. So, it's one of these things where the Jets have to feel comfortable handing out a big contract to Garrett and then a big contract to Olave because they're due up at the same time. So, that's all of a sudden the Jets could be paying a very little amount at wide receiver this year to 40 plus million, almost 50 million if they bring in Olave and re-sign both Olave and Garrett. And they also kind of have similar skill sets too, by the way. But I do like him. Furthest Warren drops is to Indy. That probably makes the most sense. Yeah. One interesting thing, Dallas, now that McMillan is off the board, what direction does Dallas go into? Do they just go Matt Golden? Do they maybe go edge rusher, Jalen Walker or somebody? I don't know what the Niners do here. My guess would be Michael Williams or Walter Nolan. Hater, what's going on, man? I want to see Walker play with Micah Parsons. That would be absolutely insane. Dallas taking Shador. That would be just totally wild, man. Totally wild. Sorry, I keep looking down. I'm trying to upload that video. Can't wait for them to go offensive line next year. Well, we'll have 2 issues at guard next year, assuming that they don't re-sign John Simpson or ABT. But I don't know. That's a bridge. We'll cross it when we get to it. But I think it's important to just kind of shore up the O line as it is now. Our O line's pretty okay. Reverse spoiler: San Francisco did not take Jalen Walker. Yeah, I don't think Jalen Walker really fits that system. Loveland hasn't even played a snap in the NFL. How do you know if he will be better than Warren or any tight end? Could be a bust who can't hang in the NFL. You never know. Yeah, that's one thing too. Like, no one really knows exactly how this thing is going to play out. That's literally why they're like quote unquote draft busts every year, because it's not a perfect science, But I don't know. I think Loveland and Warren are very, very, very good players. Very, very good tight ends. I think they're both going to have an immediate impact. No matter who they get picked to, they both will be productive. They both will be real pass catching threats, not just mid tier. Like, okay, this is the 20th ranked tight end. Hold on, we got Schefter talking about something. Okay, he's talking about Shador Sanders. Tyler Warren of San Francisco. They could draft Kittle's replacement, but I still feel like he has some good ball left in him. Name another great first-round tight end. That's another point in this whole thing, too, is that the tight end position is not a guarantee. Like, O.J. Howard did not work. Ebron, Noah Fant, Kyle Pitts. Like, there are lots of misses at that tight end position. So, it's not a sure thing. What's Jordan Travis's recovery status? Is he back to 100% now? So that whole thing is completely up in the air. Gosh, the last thing that I read about it was supposedly Jordan Travis deleted all of his Jet stuff off his social media. I don't know why. I don't have a reason for it, but it was right around the time that I think it was like right after the Jets signed Justin Fields. I don't know how that whole thing is going to play out, but based off of Salah's comments, he had a setback last year, so I'm not sure. I'm excited to see what Jordan Travis can do, though, like competing for the job. But it's too risky for me to say, oh, he's our franchise quarterback, or he's even the starting quarterback. Here's the Niners selection. 4-3 DN Michael Williams going to Robert Saleh's defense. Great pick. Love this pick here for the Niners. But I am a little surprised that Jalen Walker was picked, or Michael Williams was picked ahead of Jalen Walker, if I'm being 100% honest. Very smart pick by Muji and Glenn. I see Warren going to the Colts now. Yeah, so we got a minute left here for Dallas. Miami at 13. Indy at 14. Warren to Indy just makes so much sense, whether it's Richardson, whether it's Daniel Jones throwing them the football. Yeah, Warren to Indy. I feel like that's been like the pick. Like if he's on the board, that's his floor. Indianapolis Colts, and it's been like that for a long time. Yeah, solid pick. It was important that the Niners got someone else to rush the passer outside of Nick Bosa. That defensive line is like, I mean, really, this whole team is going to look a lot different, right? Like they lost Ward at corner. They lost Banks at guard. Picks in for Dallas, by the way. So far, we haven't seen any more trades outside of that Jaguars move up to 2, which I still can't even I haven't even processed that really. I do like Michael though to San Francisco. I think that's been one of the better picks so far as just like team fit scheme wise, team need. Will Terrence Ferguson be available in the second round? He'll be there in the third round, I think. No guarantees, but I think round 3 is probably the sweet spot for him. Dallas is about to take Sanders and trade Dak to Indy for the first pick. That'd be pretty crazy, man. That'd be pretty crazy. Where could Shador really, realistically go? Pittsburgh, Giants trade up, Browns trade up with that extra ammo. Miami could also go with a safety here too, Malachi Starks or Nick Eamon-Wari. Both guys fit great with that Dolphins defense. And they lost Holland. Are Brees, Gardner, and Sauce still? Yeah, I think so. But are you talking Brees, Garrett Wilson, and Sauce Gardner? I regardless, I think all 3 will be Jets. Yeah, this is a big concern. This is a big concern of mine. It's a great point. Okay, here's Dallas. Tyler Booker, guard from Alabama, dude. I love Tyler Booker. I just didn't think he was going to go this high. In all honesty, I was thinking maybe Detroit, bottom round 1. He goes 12 to Dallas. Supposedly, Booker is fantastic as far as like culture and like him as a leader. He's actually from Connecticut. Did a really, really good job. Like Bama put a lot on his plate. He was just, like a hard worker, plays whistle to whistle. Wow, man, Tyler Booker going to Dallas at 12. It feels very Dallas of a pick too. Does Sanders go 13 to Miami? If you can argue it, but I just don't. Miami has way too many holes. I think Miami, they can go Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson and just kind of solidify the corner position, right? With Ramsey potentially on the way out. You can argue O-line, but Membu gone, Campbell gone, Banks gone, Tyler Booker gone. I don't know, man. I'm going to say corner or Malachi's corner or safety for Miami. Just my guess. Bye, Warren. It's nice to meet you. Yeah. Warren's going to the Colts. Warren's a Colt. Dude, yeah. So that's an interesting take, Jordan. Man, like he would help out Tua. I do think he fits that system pretty well. I just feel like there's only one ball to go around, and they have so many pass catchers already, and they want to run the ball. I just don't know how they could proceed with that defensive structure right now. Like Miami's kind of similar to the Jets, where they have like a lot of roster holes, but they have a lot of like at the same time big name star players. What are your thoughts on the Jets' second pick? So I think I would lean to Tylee Williams, D tackle from Ohio State. But if it's not going to be him, I would look for probably a pass catcher, wide receiver, or tight end. What do you think about the Raiders pick? I love the Raiders pick, man. I think Gentry's probably going to win Rookie of the Year on the offensive side of the football. So that's great in and of itself, but you're helping out Geno Smith. Pete Carroll wants to run the football. Chip Kelly wants to run the football. You're getting, in my opinion, Gentry's the best running back to come out since Saquon Barkley over Jahmyr Gibbs, over Bijan Robinson. I think Gentry is a beast. And people, can argue, okay, it's a luxury pick for the Raiders and whatnot. But I think at the end of the day, the Raiders got the most pro-ready player in the draft who's going to be a day one contributor. And he's going to help at the quarterback position in Geno Smith. and also Brock Bowers and the taking pressure off of him too, because if the Raiders did go O-line, you're essentially in a vacuum, right? Because you're not really factoring in round 2, round 3, and stuff. But outside of Bowers, who is really striking fear into defenses? If you don't go running back, you don't go wide receiver, it's just Bowers. So now it's Genty and Bowers, plus the upgrade at coach, plus the upgrade at quarterback. So I love the pick, man. Steelers will take Sanders. It'll be crazy if Sanders goes to the Steelers and he works out and the Browns get like 5 or 6 wins and have a big issue at quarterback. That'd be just, I don't know. I would be pissed if I was a Browns fan and that happens. We need Warren. Dolphins will take Will Johnson and trade Ramsey. Where do you think Ramsey gets traded to? I think the Raiders or Falcons. Wish the Jets the best. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. So it's looking like the Dolphins picks in, but we're at commercial right now. Let's see. Collins would be good if the Jets could get him in the 3rd round. Are you talking about Alfred Collins, the run stuffing D tackle? He's also one of my favorite players too. Maybe he's better fit for a 3-4 as like a nose tackle, but I think Collins can work with Glenn and Wilkes. Could we trade back in for Warren or a weapon? I don't think for Warren because he's probably you probably have to come up literally now to go get Warren. But I'm trying to think of a realistic weapon that the Jets could get. I mean, you probably have to jump Denver at 20 if you want to like for sure lock in with Matt Golden. But outside of that, who? Let me ask you, what weapon are you thinking? And by the way, bro, I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. Igbuka, Luther Burden, maybe Jaden Higgins. Let Warren go. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Warren and Loveland both kind of play out. They're kind of like forever linked. Saban said Membu was the best offensive lineman in this draft. I agree. Great pick. Yeah, I mean, there was so much smoke before the draft. Like Membu's not going to be there. Raiders, right? Raiders, maybe Jaguars, maybe Patriots, but Raiders at 6. I personally didn't see the fit with Membu with the Raiders because they have 2 really, really solid options, in my opinion, at tackle. Tyler, yeah, I don't know who the Dolphins are picking, man. But Tyler Warren going to Miami would be pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, but Tua has to get the ball out. And I don't really know how I would feel about that O-line. Will we ever care about scoring points? Hey, man, it's not like Membu isn't, going to help out the offense at all. Because you can, talk about positives and negatives for every single situation. Because say if the Jets drafted Tyler Warren, you can say, okay, well, now teams can just pressure the Jets off of, the right side and just wreck the game. Similar to Tennessee, right? Tennessee had a great left guard in Skoronski. They had Cushenberry at center. J.C. Latham left tackle, but the right side of the offensive line was just so bad. The Titans were just losing all these games. Levis couldn't develop all these, different issues because of one area on the O-line. So you're kind of avoiding that. But, it's not to say that Membu's the perfect player or, Membu over Warren every single day of the week. I think both guys were great players. Both guys would fit, massive voids for this Jets roster. And we just went with the kind of non-sexy pick here in offensive line. And, it is what it is. Maybe we can target a tight end later. Maybe we trade, what happens if day 3 rolls around and we trade a pick for Dallas Goedert? Trade a pick for Michael Mayer. That's a great point, Austin. That's a great point. Here we go. Dolphins pick. Dude, oh my. Kenneth Grant's the pick to Miami. God, man. I picked for months. I had Kenneth Grant going to Miami. And then when I dropped the mock draft, I swapped it. But he's a great, great, great fit in the Dolphins defense, anchoring the middle of the defensive line. I thought Kenneth Grant was going to go to Arizona at 16. Good pick for Miami, admittedly. Kyle, bro, I appreciate you, man. What are your thoughts on Ruckert? I'm interested to see what he'll do with Justin Fields with the Ohio State connection, but I'm not 100% sold. Like, the thing that irritated me with Ruckert last year was I just don't like how I don't like how the Jets gave him as many opportunities as they did, and somehow Ruckert was the worst that he's ever looked in his career, with drops, with just miscommunications. It was frustrating, right? Because with a young player, you're thinking like, okay, the more you give him, the more years, right, he's on the team, the better, more years he's in the offense, the better he's going to look when he does get that playing time. But again, dude, like when Ruckert was out there, he looked worse than the previous 2 years, and that's worrisome to me. Yeah, Kyle's shooting a shot. Kyle's a big Lions fan, so we'll see what happens at where are they picking 28, 29. Warren's going to be a Colt. We'll see, man. We'll see. How do you complain about getting a great lineman? I think it's. I mean, I really think Jets fans are right in the sense that, like, we all want to score points. We all want to win games. It's just the method of how do you go about doing that? And we know that the Jets want to run the ball. And we know we got to protect Justin Fields too. So, I don't, Tyler Warren was the pick. I would have given it an A+. Membu's the pick, A+ pick. I just really didn't think that the Jets could go wrong here. By the way, Jalen Walker is falling like crazy. But I think Tyler Warren's going to be picked here to the Colts. Let's see. Tyler Warren, Indianapolis Colts. Atlanta, this should be Jalen Walker here at 15. He is a great system fit for the Atlanta Falcons. And this is a great pick for Indianapolis, right? A. Rich, Daniel Jones, whoever it's going to be, they're going to be getting a huge security blanket. O-line is stacked. It's good. It's a good O-line. It's a young O-line, but I think we're set up beautifully. I think right now you can say Justin Fields has not had an offensive line like this. This is literally going to be his best offensive line. Nightmare, man. Nightmare, really? You're not feeling it? Warren is a one-year wonder. Hey, at least he didn't go to Miami. At least he did not go to Miami. So we got Atlanta at 15, Arizona 16, Cincy 17. This could literally be 3 straight edge rushers. I guess my prediction will be Jalen Walker, Atlanta, Walter Nolan, Cardinals, Shamar Stewart, Bengals. That's my guess. For Atlanta, don't be. Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot about the corners, dude. I forgot about the corners. Good call on Will Johnson. By the way, Jeff Ulbricht's the new DC over there. Going back to the A. So Atlanta's still on the clock here. You're trying to picture, you're trying to pan out, right? So 17 Bengals, Seattle at 18. They could go Matt Golden. Arizona could go Matt Golden. But I think Arizona, the defensive-minded Jonathan Gamble, would rather go on the defensive side of the football. I'll say, yeah, Golden at 18. Or I'll go Gray Zabel, Seahawks 18. Yeah, Gray Zabel 18 to Seattle. 19. Tampa Bay. They could go with one of the corners. 20 Denver. They could go Amari and Hampton. Both tight ends are gone. And then Sanders I'll save for Pittsburgh. Sanders to Atlanta would be, yeah, that's probably not going to happen, man. Jalen Walker screams Falcons. Yeah, I mean, he's a beautiful system fit for Raheem Morris, like stand-up rusher. Campbell could be Ulbricht's new Quincy Williams. Campbell. What Campbell are you talking about? This will be Fields' best wide receiver as well, very sadly. Will also be his best running backs. No, I will say Cole Kmet is better than everything that the Jets had at tight end. Also, Pat Freiermuth, I also think I would rather have Pat over what we currently have. Where do we go from here is my question. I'm going to say pass catcher round 2 or run stuffing D tackle in round 2. I'm going to be dropping a video tomorrow morning and talking about all the defense or all the round 2 options for the Jets at 42. And then maybe doing some stuff for round 3 as well. Steelers should get Sanders. I agree. I don't want Rodgers on my team if I'm Pittsburgh. What will happen with Hendrickson? New deal? You got to think something gets done, man. You can't send a guy out like that. Send him packing and then have this hole at edge. I mean, the Bengals are a great team. Keep the great players in-house, man. Do you have thoughts on the Jags trading basically all this draft for the number 2 pick? Like, I know Travis is good. It's a bold move by Jacksonville, bro. I didn't see it coming, but I think the winner there was actually Cleveland because Cleveland now has a lot of picks. I mean, they're both winners, but yeah, Jacksonville gave up a ton, but Cleveland now has 2 1s next year, 2 2s this year, one of which is the first pick, in round 2. So I think it's solid. Jahad Campbell. Okay. For some reason I was thinking Will Campbell. Yeah, Jahad Campbell's another one of these guys, but supposedly or like another one of these 3-4 outside linebacker, edge rusher, linebacker types. But supposedly with Campbell, there's pretty big injury concerns with I believe it's shoulder. If for some ridiculous reason Sanders is still on the board at 25, Jets should trade up. Debatable. I feel for Ulbrich. If Atlanta's defense isn't top-notch, people say his defense was really solid. Why you guys take so long? What are you talking about? Yeah, we're still at commercial here. A minute and a half. Atlanta's taking this thing all the way down. I wonder if the debate is corner, like you guys were talking, or Jalen Walker. Yeah, Barron's still on the board here too. Dude, that's freaking awesome, man. Alfred Collins went to the bro. He's one of my favorite players in the draft, man. Was he a cool guy? Are they going to trade Brees? I don't think so. I just don't know who. I don't know who is going to give up something of value as opposed to because if the Jets trade Brees Hall for a 7th round pick, I'm going to be pissed. It's about 6th-round pick. No, but the flip side, who's giving a 2nd-round, 3rd-round pick for Brees Hall? This running back class is stacked. And not only do you have to give up something for Brees Hall, but you then now have to pay him a big deal. And potentially James Cook could also be on the move too. So it's, even in the veteran running back market, he's not the, the only one. But okay, picks finally in for Atlanta. Again, I'm going to say Jalen Walker, Falcons, Walter Nolan, Cardinals, Shamar Stewart, Bengals, Gray Zabel, Seahawks, Will Johnson, or Barron for Tampa Bay. What do you think of Emeka Egbuka in round 2? I like that. I really, really like that. Yeah, I feel like there's a really good chance that Egbuka falls to round 2. But the question is, if he's the pick, I don't know what Corley's role is going to be with the team, because I think Egbuka will be our new slot receiver. Same with Luther Burden if he's the pick. Who's another interesting name for like one of these wide receivers in round 2. Oh, but actually, you know what? Mike Green is still on the board. Mike Green could be in play for Arizona and Cincinnati. There's a lot of good edge rushers in this class, man. I'm late to the show. Who do we get? We got Armand Membu, bro. We got Armand Membu, spot number 7. No trades or anything like that. Jacksonville wound up with Travis Hunter at spot number 2. Mason Graham, Browns at 5. Those were kind of the 2 big shockers. Kenneth Grant, Miami. Kelvin Banks to the Saints at 9. Colson Loveland at 10 to Chicago. There's been a lot of surprises, man. Matt Golden seems like he's falling. I thought he'd be a top 15 pick. Yeah, I think he doesn't get past the Chargers at 22. That's my floor for Matt Golden. All right, here we go. Falcons pick. Jalen Walker, Falcons. Okay. Great pick. This could be the pick of the draft right here if he works out. I love the fit in this style of defense. It's like picture perfect. Yeah, good call, Todd. Yeah, great value pick for Atlanta. Golden is going to be going to a good team. Yeah. Collins. Okay. Yeah. Collins was years after I graduated, but he was a class act from what I heard. High school lost every game this season. He was recruited, which says a lot about him as a player. Yeah, man. I mean, he's an absolutely massive run, as you know, run stuffing D tackle. I think he'd be great, but I'm also thinking maybe better fit for 3-4. I actually think he makes a lot of sense for Atlanta in round 2. Maybe Houston. I don't know. Sanders picked yet? Nope, not yet. What do you think about James Pierce? I love James. I like watching Pierce play. I really like him. I mean, he is such a strange body type. He looks like a wide receiver playing defensive end. Kind of reminded me of like when Leonard Floyd was coming out of Georgia, just like this long, lanky edge rusher. But Floyd was linebacker too. But with Pierce, I don't know. Word on the street is like there's like practice habit stuff, like football character concerns. Who knows what's true and what isn't, but that's kind of what's being talked about right now. But for your Raiders, that'd be a really interesting pick, man. I don't think it's likely. I think probably James Pierce makes sense with you could argue him for Arizona, but Philly, bottom round 1, Tennessee, top of round 2, Cleveland, even though I don't think he might be the best system fit in Cleveland. Jets will never have a good tight end. Hey, man, round 2 is still up in the air. Round 3 is still up in the air. I think Terrence Ferguson would be an awesome pick for the Jets later on. Do we take a corner to replace DJ Reed? I'm going to say no, because I think there's going to be a run on corners, like bottom round 1, early tomorrow, day 2. Like Bills need a corner. Ravens could use a corner. Or never mind. Jacksonville traded. The Raiders desperately need a corner. Yeah. There's going to be some there. Like Darian Porter will be there. Maybe Ravel Jr. from East Carolina will be there. But yeah, I don't know with corner. I think it's just really interesting that the Jets gave a multi-year mega deal. Or sorry, not a mega deal, multi-year double-digit millions annually to Brandon Stevens. I just don't think it makes a ton of sense to taking another corner. Strong safety, though, that's a different story. Who do you think the Seahawks got? I'm going to say Gray Zabel at guard. You got to Seattle has an interior O-line issue. Clint Kubiak coming in, Gray Zabel fits that West Coast system. And we all saw what happened to Sam Darnold when he was facing internal pressure. You got to protect Sam Darnold up the middle of the offensive line. Gray Zabel checks all three of those boxes. Yeah, DJ Reed's going to Detroit now, man. That should be an interesting pickup for them. Do you think they can move Stevens to safety? Man, like, it's so tough to tell. It's so tough to tell because I think he was signed to be a corner with this Jets team. But I mean, who the heck knows, right? With Steve Wilks, Aaron Glenn, two veteran defensive minds, I think they're going to want to be a little multiple. We need a safety, big time, bro, big time. Seattle needs to beef up the offensive line, or Sam will be like Zach Wilson. Yeah, man, they got to protect Sam. They have to protect. Mel Kiper's tweaking. What's he talking about? Picks in for the Cards. Reed's nice, but short tackler receivers cooked him. Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty solid for Detroit. But at the same time, Detroit's getting a lot healthier, so I think the defense will look better next year. That's a good point too. I do like Charles Cross at left tackle though for Seattle. But for Arizona, I'm going to say Mike Green, Walter Nolan, James Pierce, wild card. Cincinnati, I'll say Shamar, or Cincinnati's going, I'm going to say edge rusher for Bengals. Stewart, Pierce, Mike Green. Walter Nolan, Arizona. Okay, there we go. Pass rushing defensive tackle, great pick for Jonathan Gannon's defense, first and foremost. And then, of course, we have to factor in the Cardinals' free agent plans, right? They made a big push for Milton Williams, didn't get it done. They brought in Josh Sweat on the outside, which is going to be a huge boost. Nolan and Sweat in again in defense. Great pick. Okay, so the Bengals now are on the clock at 17. Again, I'm going to go Shamar Stewart or Mike Green. Depends on like what kind of defense Al Golden wants to run. I'm going to assume it's what we saw last year at Notre Dame. So 4 down linemen a lot of the times. Yep. Cincinnati, I can see Derek Harmon there. Yeah, so it's interesting. People, there's a lot of it seems like there's a lot of Derek Harmon love out there, with fans. But I think the Bengals need edge help more than interior D-line help. And they did bring back BJ Hill on a multi-year deal, who I wanted the Jets to target. But I think Mike Green goes here to Cincinnati or Shamar Stewart. I think the Bengals will go edge. Seattle will go great. My guess, Gray Zabel, Seattle, corner to Tampa, Hampton, Denver, Sanders, Steelers, Matt Golden, Chargers. Yeah, I love Walter Nolan as a prospect. And by the way, thanks so much for everyone hanging out, chilling. Standards probably is like, what's going on? Yeah, dude. JC, I think. Well, on the the thing is with Sanders and these quarterbacks that slip in the draft, they typically wind up with good teams. Like Rodgers going to Green Bay, um, Lamar going to Baltimore. Like they're not thrown into crappy situations where they don't have a lot of help around them. So if Shador Sanders goes to Pittsburgh and he works out there, I mean, if you're Sanders, dude, like you got to be thrilled. Pickens, Metcalf, Fryermuth, Tomlin is there. You know the defense is going to make a ton of stops. JC, I think the Jets' phones are working. The press conference was supposed to start at 9:45. Yeah, dude, I haven't even checked any of that stuff. I legit have not checked any of that stuff. Let me quickly look. Picks in for Cincinnati. Freaking nuts, man. Freaking nuts. I don't know, dude. Could the phone still be working? I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. Because then it's like, okay, what do we trade? Do we trade a player potentially? Because I don't want to be trading draft picks away. We just got done with a regime that was trading all our picks away. Jets got the Great Wall of China in New York. Heck yeah, man. Wall Street. If Sanders goes to the Steelers, at least it's a stable franchise. Great point. Yeah, dude, that I love that fit, man. And also, too, you don't have to worry about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, like being a distraction. Like Rodgers, bro, he's still not signed. I mean, it's not like the Steelers are a perfect team. Like they could definitely go with Derek Harmon, like we were talking, or who was suggested before to Cincy. But I just don't know how you can operate right now. It's like Mason Rudolph, and then you just have to hope that Rodgers shows up whenever he wants to. And you already have guys like Cam Hayward talking about it, kind of rubbing people the wrong way. I don't know, man. I just don't want anything to do with Rodgers if I'm Pittsburgh for a 1 year. He's hurt every year. Just go with Sanders if he's there. But does someone hop the Steelers for Shador Sanders, like Cleveland or New York? New York Giants. If they trade Hall, I will cry for a month. No pressure, or no pressure. Worrisome. I don't think it would be worrisome, but I think it's interesting and concerning. Like, whoa, maybe there's something here. Let me actually shoot Tyson from Let's Talk Jets Radio a text. Let me see if he wants to hop on. Pittsburgh isn't that stable. A lot of fans want Tomlin out. Yeah, I think it's stable in the sense of winning football games. They're competitive. They're actually able to make the playoffs in a competitive division. It's not a team that is projected to be picking top 3, top 4 next year. Raiders round 2, who you got? A corner. Max Harrison is going to be my guess. Can we rely on Lazard, Reynolds, and Corley? I don't know, man. I don't. I would be lying if I said yeah. I don't know, dude. It's too tough to call. Too tough to call. Maybe the Jets are working the phones for Matt Golden, man. Like, who knows how this whole thing is going to play out. Yeah, we have one skilled player on offense. Well, pass catcher, because our running backs are stacked. I think Max Harrison's going round 1. Yeah, for sure. I've seen a lot of Bills Max Harrison connections, but I think Amos will go to the Bills and Harrison will be top of round 2. But the Raiders can definitely Revel too for the Raiders. I think makes sense. Who do you think we go for in round 2? I'm gonna say Tyleek Williams, man. Tyleek Williams. I mean, it's easy to say Jaden Higgins. All right, here's the Bengals pick: Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, James Pierce.
The Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart. Gotta address edge, man. You gotta address edge if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. With or without Henderson, they needed an edge rusher. Nice. I like the pick. Thank you for being honest about skill. Oh, with the wide receivers. It's where you're the best. Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Tomlin is unemployed next year if they sign Rodgers. I just don't see it with Rodgers next season for Pittsburgh. I've seen a lot of Packers Harrison. Yeah, dude, I have too. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah who actually mocked Max going to Green Bay. Keep in mind, both Barron and Will Johnson are still on the board here. Seattle's not a team to take a corner, in my opinion, here at 18. I'm going to assume it's going to be Gray Zabel. 4 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock. Again, I'm going to go Gray Zabel, 18. Corner, Will Johnson, Barron, 19. Or Jahad Campbell to Tampa if the medical clears. Denver, Omari, and Hampton. I'll say Shedeur Sanders in 21. That pick is going to be crazy. I'm going to have like anxiety watching the Steelers pick. Shamar Stewart's freaking out. Let's go. I'm praying Matt Golden falls to us and we take him. Bro, that'd be nuts. A couple of receivers, though, that like I feel like are actually pretty realistic that could fall. Emeka Ibuka, Luther Burden. Like, they can definitely go top of round 2. Cleveland, maybe. New England, definitely. But I think the Jets will surely have their pick between any of the other tight ends. So if you want to go that route, I think the Jets will be fine there. But wide receiver, man, Ibuka, I think is going to be. I think there's a chance that he's there. I know it sounds crazy. Like he could be the pick for Green Bay, right? Like that could be realistic, but I think there's a chance that he does slip to round 2. And then at that point, it begs the question: could the Jets even trade up, or should the Jets trade up to top peak of round 2? I want to jump Pittsburgh for Sanders. Are you talking for the Jets? Seems like Sanders is going to the Chiefs and the Eagles. Trade down, maybe. Jahad Campbell, Bucs defense, yeah. Great system fit. Picks in for Seattle. Tomorrow, day 2, rounds 2 through 3, possibly play for the Jets. Tyleek Williams, Mason Taylor, Jaden Higgins, Kevin Winston Jr. Yeah, Winston I think is going to be a steal. He's going to fall because of injuries. Or injury. I think he'd also be a great fit with the Jets defense. Yeah. I mean, I could see it. I could definitely see it. I love him as a player. But how comfortable are the Jets drafting a player that is coming off a season-ending injury? Shedeur to the LA Rams is something not being talked about. That's interesting. I think him and McVay's offense would be awesome. Alex is saying dart to Pittsburgh. We'll see. The fact that Warren wasn't even the first tight end pick tells me that we made the right move. That's an interesting take, man. Yeah. I still love Warren as a prospect. I still think he's going to do great things, but that's an interesting take. What about Starks for the Bucs? Bro, PG, man. Thanks so much for tuning in, bro. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. Starks with the Bucs to pair up with Winfield. Interesting. I think corner is probably the bigger need and edge rusher is the bigger need, but Starks is my favorite player in the damn draft. I don't want Starks to go to the Bills at 30. I don't want my brother to come back in here when the Bills are on the clock and they're walking away with yet again my favorite player in the draft. The Bills every year draft like guys that I want the Jets to draft. Here's the Seahawks back. I'm going to say Gray Zabel.
In the 2025 NFL draft, the Seattle Seahawks select
Gray Zabel. Let's freaking go, man. Just makes too much sense. Got to protect Sam up the middle. Fits the system with Clint Kubiak in the West Coast offense. Fills a need. $19. I'll say corner or Jahad Campbell. But I'll say, just to kind of get a for sure name down, I'll say Will Johnson. 7 minutes left on the clock for the Bucks. 7:15. Kyle Williams, round 2. Okay. Yeah, not everyone's sold on Kyle Williams, but some people love him. Chris Sims loves him, I think. Shador to the LA Rams. I think if Shador falls that far, you could probably shoot so in my mock draft, I had the Giants trading up with the Rams to go get Dart. Where the Rams are at, which I believe is 24. 26. Rams slide back to 34 or 34 and go with Trey Amos at corner. So the Rams are getting a day one plug and play guy at a position of need, and you accumulated a future first round pick. I like that move if I'm the Rams. The Rams are in a great position because the quarterbacks are continuing to fall. Granted, we saw the handful of picks. I also feel like the Bucks could be a solid trade back. There's 6 minutes, 23 seconds left on the clock. The Bucks would be an interesting trade back team as well, for Cleveland or the Giants. Golden could go to Denver. That's a great point. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin. Yeah, it makes sense. He would stretch the field. That's for sure. Definitely stretch the field. Muji Idzik 2.0. Go Knicks. Hey, what's the score of that game, by the way? Let me actually quickly check the score. Shamar Short to Cincy has a longer reach than LeBron. Good for Cincinnati. That's a pretty crazy stat. I did not know that. But yeah, Shamar, I felt like kind of got a bad rap a little bit. I think Shamar Short's a good player. I don't think he's ever going to be this 15 sack guy, but I do think he could have a similar career to Jadeveon Clowney, like 3-4 stand up, 4-3 D end. Always solid and setting the edge, always kind of being that physical presence on the outside, crazy length, like you said, with the arm length, athletic upside. Shamar Stewart's played defensive tackle too. That's another thing that people kind of gloss over. It's not like Shamar Stewart. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Mike Green is still on the board. I knew there was a player that we've all been mocking earlier. Mike Green makes a ton of sense for the Buccaneers. How did that slip my mind? 4 minutes, 55 seconds on the clock here. But, God, I already said Will Johnson. I'll stick with Will Johnson, but Mike Green would be my pivot for the prediction. Kyle, bro, man, you're the man. Hey, bro, I've been following you since 2017. Honestly, the best Jets content creator. Dude, thank you so much, man. By far, keep up the great work. Dude, thank you. Like, means the world. Totally. You guys have no idea, like, how much just this, like, bro, I grew up with Dolphins fans around me. No one was down to talk Jets football. No one. So it's fun to kind of just chill and hang out. I know that's, it's not the most professional channel out there. I know it's not the most professional stream out there. It's 1,010,000 streams going on. So, the fact that you guys are chilling, like, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate the kind words, Kyle. Oh my God, dude. Eagles better not get Mike Green. Yeah, I don't mind Philly, like as kind of like a fan from afar, but Howie Roseman is just elite. Like he just has the NFL like on strength. Like he just does whatever he wants, and like every move he makes outside of Hassan Reddick like seems to work out. Okay, Bucks picks in. Chris, bro, thank you. Ian, buddy, love your phenomenal. Dude, thank you, bro. Thank you. My opinion, possibly Dart to the Giants or Rams, Shador or Milrow to the Steelers. Membu thumbs up. Yeah, I'm with you with Membu. I think I'm not trading up for Jackson Dart, dude. Like I just don't see it with Dart. I just have too many questions right now, and who knows? Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe Dart's like amazing, but if he's there in round 2, okay, you could justify it. But I'm not giving away draft picks for Dart. I just can't do it. Greg, bro, thank you, man. All you, dude. All you. Where uh where do I have Luther Burden going? What are your thoughts on Matt Golden? I like Matt Golden. I like Luther Burden. I think people are sleeping on Burden a little bit because of the season. If you go back and you watch him in 2023, this dude was crazy, crazy electrifying. Like a lightning rod at the wide receiver position. I don't want him to go to New England at the top of round 2. I think Matt Golden will probably go to the Chargers at 22. That's my guess. I'm going to say, yeah, okay. I think Mike Green's probably in play here for Tampa, but I'll say Will Johnson or Barron. No. I'll go Will Johnson at 19, O'Brien Hampton 20, Shador Sanders 21 in the Steelers, Matt Golden Chargers 22, 23 Green Bay Packers, Jahdae Barron. 24 Mike Green, Minnesota Vikings. 25 Josh Simmons. All right, here's the Bucks pick. What? Emeka Ibuka is going to the freaking Bucks, dude. I was just talking about him going around 2. That's wild. I understand them wanting to get like younger at the position, but you know, when I'm thinking about that team, you got Mike Evans, obviously, and you got Chris Godwin in the slot. So is the plan to kick Godwin back out to the outside? Damn, dude. Matt, dude, thank you, dude. That means the world. Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat, man. I'm in the same boat. I did not see this coming. Pittsburgh, LA. Well, I'll say this for Green. If the rumors are true with the Green Bay Packers wanting to move off of Jair Alexander, this draft is falling beautifully for Green Bay. They can go out and pluck potentially the best corner in the entire draft or corner 2 at 23. I like that with or without Jair Alexander. Man, Emeka Ibuka to the Bucks. I didn't see that coming at all, dude. And also, they passed on Matt Golden. Baker +5. Yeah. I thought possibly Golden to the Buccaneers. I love Ibuka. It's nothing against him. I just didn't see the Bucks as a fit because I feel like Ibuka is probably that slot type of guy, slot type of receiver at the next level. And the Bucks have a great slot receiver in Godwin. Get Bougie moving, go Starks. Oh, by the way, another player that's interesting, that'd be another interesting fit for the Jets would be Nick Eamon-Wari. You know what? I need to find a best available list. Off the top of my head, both corners, Barron, Will Johnson, Mike Green, Matt Golden, Omarion Hampton. Yeah, let me look up the best available. list, like guys that are currently out there. By the way, what channel are you guys watching on? ESPN or NFL Net? Okay, Derek. Okay, Derek Harmon is still out there. Let me just share my screen quickly. If the Bills get Scottaboo involvement, yeah. James Pierce, great call. Great call. Share screen. Let's see if this works.
I had no idea if anyone did buy anything.
Is this working? Okay, cool. It is. All right. So, and by the way, we can keep this up for the remainder of the stream if you guys want. No problem at all. Jahad Campbell, Matt Golden, Janae Barron, Derek Harmon, James Pierce, Max Harrison. This is a little high for me, if I'm just being honest. Josh Simmons, I think, is picture perfect for Houston. By the way, Denver's still on the clock. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Ezuraku makes a lot of sense for Detroit and Washington. Darius Alexander is rated pretty high on this big board. Connerly, I think maybe round 2. I was going to say Saints round 2, but Connerly actually makes sense for the Bears in round 2. Malachi Starks, of course, Shador Sanders, Trey Amos. I love Trey Amos. A lot. I think he's going to be really good. I love what he was capable, what he showed in man coverage. I think he got better in zone coverage as the season went on. I think he's just a safe, high floor type of player with good size, good length at the position. Played at 3 different schools: Louisiana, Alabama, Ole Miss. Didn't really play a ton at Alabama last year. Terran Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry. But I think a team in the bottom of round 1. God, dude, I'm gonna be pissed if Trey Amos goes to the Bills. Jamar Turner's interesting. Nick Scorton, I don't even know where he's. Ariante Erstry is another really interesting option, I think, for teams that need a starting tackle. By the way, if the Patriots wanted to, they could just double dip on the left side of the O-line. They could go Erstry round 2 and just say Campbell's the guard, but I don't think that's realistic. Donovan Jackson's been talked about going round 1 a lot. Yeah, there's some good players here. HBO Max. I didn't even know that they had it on HBO Max. Unless you're trolling me. Ezra Rocker from Boston College. Yeah. That's another interesting pick for Green Bay as well, because you have the Jeff Hafley coaching connection with Ezeraku. And, admittedly, the Packers do need help at edge, but I think corner is the bigger need. Definitely be interested in Arroyo. Hey, Erica. So I'm streaming through StreamYard right now. Let me pop over to YouTube. I'll just let me sub to your channel real quick. Let me find. Go to channel. Cool. I just subbed to Erica. I appreciate the kind words. Connerly. I think we'll probably pass on tackle in round 2, though, for the Jets. Lucas, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for that. I appreciate it, dude. Where should we go round 2? Higgins? See, the thing with Higgins is that he has to essentially clear a bunch of hurdles to get to the Jets. The Saints need a big body receiver. The Patriots need a big body receiver. The Browns could definitely draft Jaden Higgins. You could argue maybe Green Bay. I just don't think he's going to be there at 42. I just don't think so. I think Hampton probably goes here to Denver. Picks in. $100%, Julu. 100%. I love Ursery, bro. I don't see the Jets moving up. They might save. They might be saving the ammo for next year's quarterback class if Fields whiffs. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I just don't like the idea, like, because Joe Douglas gave away pick 15, or sorry, pick 13 in 2 seconds for Rodgers. All right, here's the Broncos pick.
NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron.
Oh my! Jahdae Barron is going to Denver. Wow, dude, I did not see that coming. I do like the fit though, because now, like, you can argue Denver has like the best young corner tandem in football. By the way, they also passed on Will Johnson. But here we go. Here we go. Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock at 21. Is this where Shedeur Sanders comes off the board? And the reason why it's relevant for Pittsburgh, because they don't have a second round pick. So if they pass here, if you're talking about wanting to trade up, if you're Pittsburgh, it's going to cost a ton because you don't have that extra second rounder. So I'm going to say highly unlikely that the Pittsburgh Steelers trade up after passing at 21. So it's either he goes now, or maybe he's going to slide even further. By the way, Vance Joseph is my favorite defensive scheme, or runs my favorite defensive scheme in football. Yep, great call, NJ. Great call. Sanders to Pitt. Yeah, by the way, dude, Matt Golden is still on the freaking board. I could see Matt Golden going Green Bay. Omari and Hampton still on the board. I think Omari and Hampton could maybe make some sense for Pittsburgh. They want to run the ball. They just got rid of Najee Harris. But, gosh, man, what's going to – I'm going to say it's Shedeur Sanders. I'll say it's Sanders, man. Derek Harmon makes sense here for Pittsburgh, too. I think Matt Golden probably goes to the Chargers. I was going to say Clippers. I'm looking at LAC. Sorry, I Schefter's talking right here. Man, this is crazy, dude. This is crazy. AFC West is a bloodbath division. Oh my, yeah, dude. AFC West is stacked. AFC West is stacked. All right, picks in for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will they go with Shedeur Sanders? Will they go with, like, if Sanders wasn't here, I would say Derek Harmon or Omari and Hampton. Omari and Hampton makes sense because Arthur Smith really wants to run the rock, and they really have that void there at the running back position. Derek Harmon is the picture perfect fit for the Steelers defensive line, though. So what do? Take the swing of quarterback? Do you go with the best fit on the defensive line in Derek Harmon, who just feels like a Steeler and a Raven? Or do you go with the explosive back that everyone's been comparing to Breece Hall in Omari and Hampton? Interesting. Terry, what's going on, man? Late to the stream, quick. How are we feeling about our pick? I love Membu. I love Membu. I love that pick. I think it's just, hey, don't overthink it type of situation. How much do you think it would take to go up and go up for Golden? I think if he gets past the Chargers at 22, you got to jump the Bills. You got to jump. I think the Bills would be in play for Matt Golden. All right, here we go. Here's the Pittsburgh Steelers pick. Sanders, Harmon, Hampton. Derek Harmon, dude. Sanders is still here. Again, Harmon, he just makes the most sense on the D-line. I wonder where he's going to go, dude. I wonder where he's going to go. But anyway, to answer your question, Terrell's, I would say it's definitely going to cost 42. You'd probably have to include a first, man. If the Jags got a first from going from 2 to 5, along with a better second round pick, I think you'd probably have to give up next year's first or tank out this class. You know, second round pick, third round pick, fourth round pick, all sending him away. But is Matt Golden worth that? You know what I mean? Yeah, that it does sound. I don't think Sanders has like off the like locker room issues, but I mean we kind of know how the Rodgers thing is. Sanders going round 2. Does Sanders get past the Rams? Karen, man. I appreciate that. My oldest nephew is Jalen Madison, running back from Stratford, Connecticut, is declaring for this year's draft. Also, I've been watching your channel for years now. Your Jet content is the best. God bless and thank you. I appreciate that. Let's actually let's see if there's a draft profile. Sacred Heart. Let's see. All right, so we got Jalen Madison's profile pulled up here. 5'9", 200 pounds, senior, Sacred Heart Pioneers. 168 carries, 960, 7 touchdowns, averaging 5.7 yards a carry. That's solid. That's solid. I wonder if he could potentially be. Well, first off, I wonder if he had a workout with the Jets' local pro day. Because like with the local teams, like it's a lot more open for obviously the local prospects, but that'd be interesting, right? Obviously, there's a lot of teams up in that area: Buffalo Bills, Patriots, Giants. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. And thanks so much for the super chat. It really means a ton. And everyone go check out Jalen Madison. That's crazy. That's crazy. Manuel, what's up, man? I mean, an NFL assistant head coach said about Sanders, worst formal interview I've ever been in. I guess they all don't like him. That's why he dropped so much. I will say that it kind of felt like a little over exaggerated, if I'm being honest. Like the worst interview ever. Like worse than Manziel, worse than there's been some questionable picks, man, made throughout the years. And Shedeur Sanders has been the worst one. It's a pretty big statement. I also think there's this narrative that Deion Sanders is going to be like LeVar Ball, which I just don't necessarily agree with. JC's like having a Mel Kiper exclusive. I love Mel Kiper, man. I don't necessarily agree with him all the time, but I like how he's himself and he kind of sticks to his picks. Thoughts on Terrence Ferguson? I like Ferguson a lot. Good route runner. Would be the best tight end on the team. Coming off the best season of his career at Oregon. One of the best tight ends ever in Oregon Ducks history. Big body guy. I think really the big question with him is going down on first contact too easy. Like, is he someone to just barrel through defenders at the next level? Probably not. But as a pass catcher, he's still tight end on this, on this Jets roster. Tight end 1 on this Jets roster. If the Jets get Membu and I don't think Sanders is going to fall that far to 42. I do think he's probably going to get scooped up. Worst case, Giants at 34. Worst case. But Cleveland at 33. But what's interesting too, it's like everyone knows that the Browns are going to be picking at 33. So if you're the Giants, do you maybe trade back with the Chiefs and just, scoot up a couple of spots to go land him? But at the same time, Dart's still on the board too. So, there could be a situation where it's back-to-back quarterbacks coming off the board in the, at the top of round 2, assuming that the Rams don't take one. I don't know. Chargers are really taking this thing down, man. I think the Chargers are going to go Matt Golden here. Wild. Who do you have the Raiders taking in the second round? Yeah, so we were talking about this before. I'm going to say Revel from East Carolina. Max Harrison, I think, could be in play, or Luther Burden, like a wide receiver in general. Would you be okay trading a 6th for Goddard and something else for Olave? I think I'm going to pass on Olave. I'm down to trade a 6th for Goddard. I know he's old. I know he's kind of beat up, but at this point, if you trade a 6th, you're not going to get a player better than Goddard in the 6th round. Then you factor in Goddard's the major position of need. I love how Goddard's made big-time plays in big-time moments. But, is he a top 5 tight end? No. But I do think he's going to help this team big time. And if all we have to give up is a 6th round pick, and keep in mind we have 2 6th round picks, I think that does make a ton of sense. And also, you factor in the new report coming out that the Eagles are down to take a future pick. So we could trade a 2026 6th round pick. I'd be more open to it. Olave, I think I'm going to pass on. I love Olave as a player. I just don't, and we were talking about this before, I don't like having to pay Olave and Garrett Wilson at the same time. All of a sudden, that could literally be $45 to $50 million gone right to wide receivers for 2 guys that have similar skill sets, right? Route running and whatnot. So I love Olave. I'd be pumped if the Jets got him, but maybe not something that I necessarily would have done. By the way, Chargers, 15 seconds on the clock here. 10 seconds on the clock. Dion Ball, yeah. Mel Kiper speaks really fast. Steelers Harmon, yeah. I wonder how far back this stream is for me. But anyway, Hater, what's going on, bro? Thanks, dude, for that. Harmon at 21 isn't good for us. Bills and Chiefs can shift to Tyleik Williams with him off the board. Dude, that's a great point. Especially, too, with Kenneth Grant off the board as well. And Mike Green is still on the board, too, by the way. Starks is still on the board. Will Johnson is still on the board. Eamon Warrior is still on the board. There's a lot of good players, man, in this. A lot of good players still left on the board. Let me pull up the let me pull up the best available real quick. Best available, share screen. Why isn't this working? All right, there we go. Yeah. James Pierce, Max Harrison, Jahad Campbell, Mike Green, Omarion Hampton, Matt Golden, Josh Simmons, I think will be a Houston Texan. Even Warrior could definitely be a Viking. Ezraku could be a Falcon or a Packer, Commander, Lion. A lot of good players still left in this, on the board here, man. I wonder if Will Johnson continues to slip, or if he's going to go 23 to Green Bay. All right, here's the Chargers pick. I'm going to say Matt Golden.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton.
Omarion Hampton is going to the Chargers now.
Monster seasons for the Chargers, over 1,500 yards in 2023.
Huh.
1,500 last year, 30 touchdowns.
Interesting.
67 catches as well. Yeah, just turned 22 on March 6th.
The Chargers, I feel like, are pretty good at running back, if I'm not mistaken, man. Didn't they just sign Najee Harris, too? Golden to Green Bay? Yeah, I could definitely. Yeah, how's Coach Prawn taking all this? Yeah, it's interesting. They keep kind of panning the camera over to Shador's party. That's crazy, dude. I didn't feel like the Chargers were just going to continue to double down at running back. At some point you got to get Herbert some weapons. Mike Williams, in free agency, it's not enough. But I guess you could always come back in round 2. We're getting Mason Taylor at 42. It's happening. Yeah, I could see it. I'm not the biggest Mason Taylor guy, but it does, like, you can sell that idea. Dude, Malachi Starks is so good. I love Malachi Starks, man. Minnesota, I can definitely see taking a safety. Hey, so Green Bay's on the clock here. I'm going to run and grab a quick tissue real quick. Yeah, that was a whole thing too last year. I mean, there were mock drafts with Will Levis going 8 or like top 12. Not last year when Levis came out 2 years ago. Like mock drafts coming out that day, Levis will be top 15 pick, and he goes all the way to round 2. So obviously, it's not all that it. Rumors are crazy, right? We never know for sure what's actually happening. But for Green Bay, I want to say Will Johnson, but Matt Golden does make a lot of sense here. Jets straight up for Starks. That would be insane. I don't want Starks to go to the Buffalo Bills. I'll be right back, guys.
There'll be some questions about it. He's in that area right now when you start going. The teams that needed corner, a guy like this, a guy who, again, Rick Martindale, who posted him up there at Michigan, said, look, this guy has hands, has ball field like Champ Bailey. The guy can snatch the ball, take the ball in there like that. And then the fact that they need that, this comes down to the medical. Simple, that's that. Are they comfortable? Do they protect forward how long he's going to play in the NFL? What can do with all of that? That comes down to Will Johnson. And there's nothing to do with how he's going to play. Especially what they have to do. To me, this is going to be edge for Scott Mike Green. We're going to take some led the nation sack last year. So, edge for sure, I'll play the yeah, an underrated guy we haven't even discussed yet. It's going to go in the next first row. It's actually 5 minutes or less. Yeah, all this kid does is going to have the quarterback. He was a sack machine. He plays hard. Now, start 4 seconds.
Let's see. Yo, thanks for hanging in the chat. By the way, have you guys seen the dude, Green Bay is packed, man. 3 minutes left on the clock for them. Have you guys seen the Darren Muji, Aaron Glenn, presser yet. I haven't checked it out. Ian's cat demanded his presence. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard him meowing out there. Let's see. So I have two, Luna and then Lefty. No Dart, no Shuck, maybe Shador, but that's it. You talking for the Jets, bro? No QB until the 5th round, guys. Yeah, that's kind of one of these things too that I'm thinking it's like, day 3 probably makes the most sense for a quarterback with the Jets. So I think I'm gonna have Buffalo Jet fan hop on. Let me send him the link to the StreamYard real quick, and he could Kevin can hop on for a little bit. Man, I see seeing the Muji presser on Twitter. Let's see. Grab this link, invite, copy. By the way, Green Bay's still on the clock here. I bet you they didn't envision Matt Golden being on the board. Kind of have to reevaluate some things. But yeah, I think Green Bay, it's either got to be Will Johnson, Mike Green, or no, well, Ezeraku makes sense. There's so many people that make sense. I'm going to say Will Johnson probably. I think corners maybe the biggest need, and it's also BPA. So Green Bay, I don't think could go wrong there, but who the heck knows how this whole thing's going to play out. Who do you have my Lions drafting? I'm going to say, okay, Packers picks in. I'm going to say Donovan Jackson from Ohio State at guard, or James Pierce as Ezeraku if he's on the board. Liverpool for the title. Yeah, I got my Crystal Palace picture hanging up right over there. Noah, that's a cool Ranger logo, by the way. One question was asked about Aaron Rodgers. Really, dude? They're still asking about Aaron Rodgers? One question was asked about Aaron Rodgers, and Glenn didn't even address it. Love it. He was never Glenn's quarterback. I mean, I got to go back and rewatch it. But dude, why is Aaron Rodgers even being talked about? It's draft night, man. I'm talking for the Jets. What are your thoughts on Elijah Arroyo in the 2nd round? You can sell that idea. It's not the worst thing in the world. I personally think tight end in round 3 maybe is better value, but who knows? It's just my opinion. Who is the biggest reach so far, dude? That's an interesting question. Here's the Packers pick, and then let me sit on that and think about it real quick. Let me look up the picks again. Biggest reach. I'm gonna say Emeka Buka. I'm gonna say a Buka for me. JC, it's Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback, of course. Yeah, but he's not on the team anymore, K, dude. He's not on the team. I don't know why. It's just like it would be different if he was still on the team, but like I don't know. It's like asking the Patriots about Tom Brady over and over after they picked Mac Jones. Dude, this is what I want. This is like my number one. Is that Mark Murphy making the pick? That's my number one choice, right? I want to play the Steelers week 1. Golden going to the Packers here. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah. Owned by Texture. Ferguson round 3. Yeah, dude. I'd be down for that. Dolphins should have drafted Jason Walker. Jalen Walker, you mean? Here's the Packers. I'll say Will Johnson, Matt Golden. Oh, shoot. Matt Golden. Maybe? Matt Golden going to Green Bay. Okay, there it is. That's pretty damn good value for Green Bay, man, in all honesty. Not many mock drafts had him falling all that, down all that way. Easiest decision. One thing I love about Golden is how tough this guy plays, man. He plays so hard. Packers wait till Aaron Rodgers was gone to draft a wide receiver. Yeah. Robert, did he? Okay. I didn't know that. I know he was dealing with the knee, but I didn't know he would. It's been this serious of a thing. But I think it's. Will Johnson just had one of the worst pre-draft processes. Pack's going to be lethal. Do I think Shador could be in play for Detroit? He doesn't strike me as a Dan Campbell type of guy. But I don't know. Goff is just owed so much money. I think if anything, you run it back with Goff again. If he starts to deteriorate. Also, another kind of interesting storyline too is this whole Jalen Milroe, right? He was invited to the draft. Is he going to be in play in bottom round 1 or round 2? 100%, NJ. 100%. Love that. Where do I think Shador is going? I'm going to say Cleveland Browns at 33. Which would be crazy. I mean, because the Browns would walk away from the draft with Mason Graham, Shador Sanders, another pick at the top of round 2 because of the Travis Hunter trade, a future first-round pick next year, and I think they also got a third-round pick too. Packers got a number 1. It's pretty damn good, man. Jets Steelers week 1. Rodgers goes down. Yeah, man. That'd be like a Steelers Jets matchup would be a lot of fun. Milroe to Big Blue. Sorry, Golden is giving a speech. Sanders to Detroit. I just don't see it, man. Shador is another Geno Smith. That's not a bad thing, man. I really don't mind Sanders. I don't want to see Rodgers back at MetLife. I mean, I think because they passed here on Sanders, Rodgers to Pittsburgh is almost like a sure thing, right? You got to think. Browns can have 2 top 5 pick next year. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I mean, you got to assume that Jacksonville and Cleveland are going to get a little bit better, but you can make that same exact argument for every team. Patriots better, right? Tennessee's going to be a little bit better. Who's going to be Giants? I don't know. Yeah, who's the worst team going into next year? New Orleans, maybe, if Derek Carr doesn't play. That'd be sweet, man. That'd be sweet. Who are you calling for the Vikings? Yeah, okay, yeah, good call. Picks in. I'll go Nick Eamon-Wari. If Gray Zabel was on the board, I think I would have went with Zabel here, but I'll go Nick Eamon-Wari, Malachi Starks. Or wait a sec, Will Johnson still on the board too. Minnesota could definitely use a corner. Mike Green is still on the board. Dude, there are some fallers in this draft, man. Titans. Ian, what are the tight ends what tight ends are still available that would be worth picking up? I like Elijah Arroyo. I know there's injury concerns there. It seems like a lot of people love Mason Taylor, which is fine. It's Jason Taylor's son from LSU. You have Fannin from Bowling Green, who's a really good route runner, but is not big and he's not all that fast, which is kind of concerning. I think Fannin actually I think Fannin makes a lot of sense for the Broncos, potentially in round 3. But yeah, picks in for the Vikings. It looks like it's been in for a long, long time. Dude, Mike Green, gosh. He was being mocked to like the Panthers at 8 and Saints at 9. All right, here we go. Vikings. Oh, shoot. Wow, Donovan Jackson. It's a solid pick, man. Guard is the biggest need, I think, for Minnesota. I thought Donovan Jackson was going to be like a late first rounder. But Jackson could be like one of these hidden gems because of the tackle flexibility. Like they kicked him out over to left tackle after Josh Simmons got hurt. Oh, shoot, a trade. Houston Texans trade pick 2. New York Giants are trading up. 34. 99. Second, third. What do you think? Dart or Sanders here going to the Giants? Dart or Sanders going to the Giants? I would take Sanders. But the Giants gave up a 3rd rounder, a 2nd rounder. Houston, interesting. Why would Houston? If the Texans like Ursary from Minnesota, it'd be a solid pick. Man, I wonder who it's going to be. No spoilers. No spoilers. Sanders or Dart. I don't know how far ahead you guys are. Dude, if they traded up for Dart, that'd be embarrassing. That would be insane if man. And you also wonder too, why move up for right ahead of the Rams? For like if you're eyeing a quarterback here, which obviously they are. But will it be Sanders? Will it be Dart? Well, Dart's dapping everyone up, so I don't know if it's spoiling it or whatever, but he's looking pretty pumped. Sanders is not on the phone. I know, dude. I know. Bro, Sanders was a top 3 pick a month ago. Crazy, AE. I like Smart. I like it. Smart. I think it's Sanders. Man, the Giants would be walking away with Abdul Carter, but they don't. I don't like how the Giants gave up their 3rd round pick and their 2nd round pick too. I guess they're just sliding up a couple slots, really. I just feel like they maybe could have. I guess it really depends on who they like, Sanders or Dart. So we'll see. Texans are loading up on draft picks. Yeah, this is kind of like an underrated story. Like an underrated story so far because they had that weird like day 3 type of trade with the Browns. So, oh shoot, we got a special guest. Kevin, what up, dude? What's going on?
Ian, What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Giants pick is in. I don't know if you might be ahead of me, so don't spoil it if you know the pick.
I didn't
But-
even know that they traded up yet. Giants are on the
Okay.
clock.
I'm spoiling.
I'm behind.
You. Okay, got you. 20.
It's got to be quarterback, right?
Got to be
obviously.
quarterback. Yeah. Who are you
I
thinking?
think it's
Dart
gonna.
or Sanders?
I think Shadur.
Shador.
You know what, dude? It could be a Moreau. It could be Moreau.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Brian Dable sees a little Josh Allen and Jackson Dart. But apparently,
Yeah.
I saw a report this morning that his meeting with the Giants went really poorly. So I don't know. Sanders.
Or Dart?
Sanders. But you never know what's real this time of year.
Yeah. Well, I really want to dive into your thoughts with the Jets and kind of like how this pick is or how the draft has gone so far, but I'm curious to see this pick first because
Yeah, this is priority. First, second quarterback off the board here. This is quite the slide here.
Are you doing anything over on your channel?
I made a video about the Membu pick. I might go live later just once we see who all the picks are to see like who we might want to take at pick 42.
Cool. Yeah, for everyone in the chat, obviously, I mean, you guys are probably sub to him already, but this is Buffalo Jet fan. Definitely go check out the channel. Go subscribe to him. Super easy to find. Makes great content. Let's see. Can you do polls on YouTube Live? I don't think so. Not through StreamYard. I don't think. I think I'd have to go through YouTube. I don't know. What do you think? Have you tried doing it or no?
StreamYard, no, you have to go through and like actually the YouTube video and like add a poll, I think.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, we're just sitting at commercial right now.
Got it.
Which is why we still don't know the pick here, but Sugar smiling and laughing in the green room seems to be him.
Yeah,
the Giants did a lot of work on him throughout the year.
It's interesting that they jumped the Rams, so obviously they maybe thought that they were going to have a succession plan to Stafford in LA.
Yep.
Which would have made sense.
More for this pick than our pick, dude. Yeah, my face is always getting red, man.
I always get nervous when they announce the Jets pick for some reason.
Dude, I do too, man. I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Giants are getting Shador. Dart is the next Zach Wilson. I'm not a Dart guy, dude. Just being honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of projection, right? With him. Talented, though.
Yeah, like he has like likable. I'm not saying he's horrible, but I just feel like I don't like taking QBs in round one if I have like multiple big red flags.
Right.
But here's the pick. Do you mind if I say it?
No, go for it.
Okay.
In the 2025 NFL draft, the New York Giants select
Jackson Dart.
Oh.
Wow, dude.
Wow. Thought it was going to be Sanders.
I did too, man. I did too. I thought the Giants were kind of, outsmarting everybody and just they were going to go with Shador.
But if he was their guy, I think they played the board well, right? Because they got a top blue chipper and then they spun around and still got their quarterback, right? Like now it seems like taking a quarterback at 3 would have been insane because the next one didn't go all the way till past 25.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, this is my brother Dave.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yo, man, how are you?
Yeah, dude, Jackson Dart now. And Rams pick is in. I don't know where direction they go in. I'm gonna just guess corner.
I love that the Giants just did that, dude. They are so dumb.
Oh shoot, the Rams just traded a pick to Atlanta.
Oh, Falcons are on the clock. Who do they want?
Mike Green, maybe.
Pass rush.
Oh,
Who did they pick in the first?
Jalen Walker. They could
dude, if
double
they
dip
get
in
Michael, if they get Mike Green and Jalen Walker, has Jihad Campbell been taken?
Sorry, say it again.
Is Jihad Campbell still available?
Yeah, he's still out there.
I mean,
James
maybe
Pierce is
him.
still out there too.
I think it's gonna maybe be Campbell.
I think.
Giants should have gone Sanders. Dart will be a bust.
Yep.
Hater, what's going on? Bro, thank you, dude. Welcome Zach Wilson's long lost cousin to East Rutherford. Bro, thanks for the 2, man. Will Johnson, dude, that's a great call too for Atlanta. But yeah, everyone go check out Buffalo Jet Fan. His channel's awesome. And like I said, super easy to find. Just punch it right in and he'll pop right up.
Thanks, man. Wait, Falcons gave up a next year's first to move up. Is that true?
Oh, did they really?
So Dominic said that'd be. I mean,
Dominic who?
Just in your chat, somebody pointed it out.
Oh, okay. So every time the pick's in, I try not to look at the chat because I don't want to, because I know I'm behind on my end.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the pick come in yet.
So, Buff, what are your ideas at 42?
Pass catcher, definitely. I think wide receiver or tight end. I like Mason Taylor personally. And I think I like the wide receiver options you could get later. And if I had to have one for this offense, wide receiver or tight end, I really like to have a tight end because it's gonna be difficult to do what they want to do with Justin Fields and give him a real shot without the tight end, which is why I think I understand people who wanted Warren, but I like the Membu pick. If they can go ahead and get Mason Taylor, I'll feel a lot better about it too.
One thing that it was a point that was brought up in the chat. Does it give you like personally pause that Warren was the second tight end drafted? So you know what I'm saying? Like maybe the gap between Warren and Loveland wasn't all that big.
Oh yeah, I kind of felt that way already. I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal, like a knock on Warren. I think it just came down to like scheme fit and flavor. Obviously, they're both worth taking the top 15. I do think it was like a little funny if people are completely freaking out that we didn't take Tyler Warren, and then he doesn't even end up being the first like tight end off the board. And Mason Taylor might be the third tight end off the board at 42. So there's a chance it's like, oh, the Jets got the third tight end off the board instead of the second. Obviously, Warren a much better prospect than Taylor, but yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a pro Loveland thing than an anti Warren thing for sure. I would have been cool with either of those tight ends too, honestly, for the Jets, but Membu was my guy.
Yeah, I want to come back to 42 first in a sec, but
yeah,
this is actually a really, really good point by Skater Girl. If the Rams just traded, does that mean that they were going to take Dart at 26? Now that he's off the board, the Rams bailed out. Maybe. But I also think too, if that the whole thing with the first round pick is right, I mean, dude, the Rams just scooped up an extra first next year. That's huge.
In the 2025 NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr.
James Pierce, Falcons. Okay. Dude, double dipping at edge for Atlanta. Like they're cranking up the heat.
They needed it, man. That pass rush was so bad.
Yeah. That's why I wonder why. Man, like there are some quality players still on the board here. And dude, Buffalo better not draft one of my favorite. Like, I'm gonna be pissed if Buffalo comes away from this draft with Malachi Starks or Will Johnson or one of these.
Trey Amos is a good fit for them.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, you were right, man. You were right. Rams got a second rounder, a seventh rounder, and a first rounder, but the Falcons are getting an extra 3.
That's a great deal for the Rams.
Yeah, because I was initially thinking, okay, if they're giving up, God, like if they're giving up a future first, chances are they're not getting the 2. Or like they're not sliding back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sell me on Mason Taylor if you can.
I think that once you get past him, there's definitely more role-playing tight ends. Like Ferguson's an interesting one too, but I think guys like Ferguson and Gunnar Helm are really not offering you much in line, which Taylor didn't demonstrate that a ton in college, but I think he at least has the tools to be more of a 3-down tight end, where if he gets even a guy like Harold Fannin, who I like a lot, but Harold Fannin is like, what even are you? You're like 238 pounds. So I think Mason Taylor is that he's on a tier of his own, in my opinion, where you had Warren and Loveland who are going to go top 20. And then you have the guys who are maybe, or even like Mitchell Evans, who's like, he can only block, and Jackson Haas, he can only block, and Gunnar Helm, he can only catch. And same thing with Ferguson. I think he is that tier, that island in the middle where it's like, hey man, that could be a 3-down starting tight end. Just he's your guy in 11 personnel, down in and down out. Son of Jason Taylor. So it's the bloodlines are good athlete, good separator, definitely plays and looks smaller than the 255. He kind of looks like a big wide receiver out there. So I mean, that's what was the appeal to Warren too. Like a lot of these guys are not going to be great in line, but I think he can do enough to in line where he's not just a slot receiver. And with the way this offense is going to run, I think tight end is going to be pretty heavily featured. If you look at what Justin Fields with Cole Kmet had like 700 yards his last year with Justin Fields. So could Mason Taylor honestly end up like would that be acceptable? Like a Cole Kmet level player at pick 42? I think it would be. And I think he could be that kind of guy.
Cool, man. I mean, I honestly feel better about it now than I did, 5 minutes ago. What are your thoughts on Elijah Arroyo from Miami?
He's one that I just haven't dug into a ton in this cycle.
There's that for me.
Yeah, there's certain guys you just kind of miss. The wide receiver out of Stanford, Illuminor, he's another guy too, where I always see him, and I'm like, I just haven't gotten to him. But
me too.
Is Arroyo your guy?
Yeah, but I'm not like pounding on the table saying like he must be the guy at 42. Like I'm fine if we go DT, like Tyleek Williams or something like that in round 2. We did that big video over on your channel, a few weeks back, kind of shifting through.
It was like 2 years ago.
Shifting through a bunch of different options. What about Kevin Winston at safety? Do you think that would be a reach?
Oh, dude, I love him, man. I mean, that now I know if you go defense at 42, you're kind of starting to really worry about the pass catching unit, which I get. But Kevin Winston is a beast. He in 2020, well, he was injured this past year, but in 2023, like he didn't miss a single tackle. He just doesn't miss tackles. Plays like a linebacker at safety. And he would be that perfect enforcer next to Cisco, who is perfect for being that, that deep corner and cover one. Don't let anything over his head. Really good ball skills. I love Cisco. That was a really good deal they got. He's super young. I hope they can resign him after this year. But now you have that downhill guy in the middle of the defense, because the run defense the Jets have had, it's been bad, but I think in the safety play has been an underrated reason why it's been bad. You think run defense, it's because your defensive tackles and your linebackers, which yes, partly, but so many explosive runs. If you look at an explosive run, even the ones at the middle, how many times guys like LaMarcus Joyner or Jordan Whitehead or Tony Adams or Ashton Davis were whiffing in the hole, and it leads to like 15 more yards. Yeah, Kevin Winston cleans that up pretty quickly. I think that would be, again, if they want to go, that would leave us light at pass catcher for sure. But in a vacuum, I think he's worth the 42nd pick, no doubt.
Yeah, cool, man. I think we're on the same page there. And then Alex, bro, I appreciate you, man. How would you feel about the Jets' possible trade up to get a Will Johnson or Malachi Starks? I think Starks makes so much sense for the rate. I felt like the Ravens are either going to go Starks, Mike Green, or Derek Harmon, but Harmon's now off the board. So if he gets, I just don't see Starks falling past Buffalo.
I thought he could have went as high as to Miami, to be honest. I thought he'd be taken by now.
Yeah, and then I mean, there's some other players that are like we were saying, man. Like there's talent here. Like Nick Eamon-Wari is still a good player. Especially for the Jets. Like when I'm thinking like box safety, making plays like up towards the line of scrimmage. I think Eamon-Wari makes sense for Washington at 29. But dude, this first round flew by.
Yeah, it went right on by. I mean, that right at the top, that trade. What do you think about Cleveland and Jacksonville swap in there?
Dude, I saw the rumors, but I didn't really buy it. I like it for the Browns, dude. I mean, like,
dude,
just get
I think
like
so too.
Humongous haul.
Yeah, they turned pick 2 into Mason Graham, an additional second, and an additional first round pick. Like, I mean, I guess if Travis Hunter ends up being Julio Jones, then you're happy if you're the Jags. But I think there's a world in which both teams kind of feel good about that trade at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm
The
surprised
Ravens
that they
pick is
got a
in.
future first. Oh yeah. Here comes Goodell. I'll say Mike Green or Malachi Starks.
The 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks.
Starks
Wow.
Ravens.
So they pair up Starks with Kyle Hamilton. Man, that's beautiful.
Yep. So we got Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, KC, Philly. Will Johnson, bro, I'm shocked that Will Johnson's still here.
Yeah, well, I raised an eyebrow when I saw. So shout out to Daniel Jeremiah. You know, I know people say mock drafts are pointless. Maybe when I do them, but not when Daniel Jeremiah does them. Like he knows stuff, man. And he had Josh Simmons, Mike Green, and who was it you just said?
Will Johnson.
And Will Johnson all slipping out of the first round. And so far,
Wow. Okay.
he is correct. I mean, Josh Simmons has got to be the medical, and then Mike Green, like some of the non-football stuff. But Mike Green might make sense for Detroit. I mean, they need an edge.
Yeah, you know who also is still on the board is Ezaraku from Boston College.
Yeah, he's nice
I don't know how you
too.
feel about him.
To my knowledge, he's a little bit more designated pass rusher, like a Will McDonald type.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, dude, if you can go get 10 sacks and 60 pressures, I mean, I think Buffalo might take him. Washington could take him.
Yeah, yep. Dude, Washington. Have you seen Washington's depth chart with edge?
Is it not good?
It's not good, dude. Not in like a disrespectful way, but it's just not good.
Yeah, if I'm Washington, I mean, now with Amari and Hampton off the board, like I think they got to go defensive line.
Yeah, I agree with you. Or even safety if you want to make a case like Eamon Warrior would be like Dan Quinn's Camp Chancellor type of player, but
ooh, that's a good call.
I don't know. Paul in Florida, bro, I appreciate you, man. Jaden Higgins round 2, Tyleek Williams, Xavier Watts, 3rd round, Ferguson or Harris. Trey Harris is interesting.
Higgins, yeah, if Higgins makes it there, I mean, I might prefer him over Mason Taylor, to be honest, as a pass catcher. I think he might get snagged, but Higgins is nice. I think he's a nice compliment. I think you're getting some of the things that made Tetero McMillan appealing in the first round. I think you're getting some of that skill set to a lesser degree with Higgins.
But yeah, I could see that. By the way,
I mean, he's probably better than Lazard.
Yeah. I don't think Lazard is stopping, the Jets from selecting wide receiver.
I don't.
So the Lions picks in, but dude, I was gonna ask, how did you like Tampa when you were down here?
Oh my god, I can't believe I live up here, man. I'm like, why do I do this to myself?
Were you down for like the what's that amusement park called? Busch Gardens?
No. It was just wanted to get somewhere where the temperature was above 80 degrees, as cheap as it could be done. But dude, I loved it down there. It was awesome. Probably gonna do like a yearly thing, so I'll definitely make sure. Like, I'll hit you up ahead of time next time so we can make sure that we get to meet up. But I saw like after I was like, wow, I was like literally like probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from you.
Really? Yeah.
Ironic that like just happened to be where we were at, but it's beautiful, man. You were like born and raised, right? Florida?
No, born and raised in Florida, but over on the east coast of Florida. And then I lived in Tampa for 3 years, and now I'm over in St. Pete.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's awesome. It's funny though, because I'm always watching your videos, and I saw like you did like a car video, and there's palm trees in the back. I'm like, there's no palm trees up in Buffalo. Like this dude must be in Florida or Cali. And I think I left a comment or I DM'd you or something. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Small world.
Yeah, we were in Clearwater, so we were right there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was where like my first apartment was near Clearwater. But yeah, glad that you liked it, man. Christian, bro, I appreciate it, dude. Would it be worth trading up for Johnson at this point? Also, who are you thinking at 42? Gosh, dude, I just don't like the idea of trading away more picks. Like we lost picks with Aaron Rodgers, we lost picks with Hassan Reddick and Devontae Adams. I just want to keep our picks, factoring in draft misses like Elijah Moore and Zach Wilson, and jury's still out on like Corley and stuff like that. So I just want to keep our picks and kind of replenish the team. And at this rate, who knows how far these guys fall?
True. And then you kind of in the back of your mind, you have to wonder, why are they falling? Like what are the medicals? What do teams know that are scaring them off? And as of right now, it'd still be pretty pricey to come up even like 10 or 12 spots at this point. It'd probably cost you at least your 4th round pick. So I think I'm in the business of trying to get as many picks as we can, but I'm trying to think, is there a player that's still like, if it's not Johnson, is there somebody who is that about Will Johnson, the corner? Do I have that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, I love Will Johnson, man. I'm surprised. I thought he was going to go a lot higher. But obviously the inability to run to square away those long speed concerns and then the injury. But yeah, man, I think he's going to be maybe a steal to whoever gets him. I don't know. Anyone left that you think, like, if you're calling up Philadelphia to get that 5th-year option, anyone left that you would want to give up a mid-round pick to do that, you think?
Tyleik Williams, Detroit.
Oh, of course. Oh, that's a great fit.
Damn, dude.
And they already paid their 1 tech, so they don't even care. They're just like, we're gonna have just fat
bro.
dudes,
And
man.
they brought back Onwuzurike too.
Right. Who's their 3? So that's a nice rotation. See, and look at all the defensive and offensive linemen that go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really think there's anyone worth at this point trading up for, because I mean, we just saw Atlanta have to dump their future 1.
That's
I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
No.
And Atlanta shot at 26. We're only at 29. So I think it's really just like identifying a player that you feel like you should trade up for, and then asking the question realistically: Washington, Buffalo, KC, Philly. If they can make it past, like if they can get out of the first round, then you have all day tomorrow to debate and kind of put together a trade package and stuff like that with Cleveland. And by the way, bro, Shedeur Sanders is still on the freaking board. Is he actually going to fall to round 2?
Yeah, because I can't think of who would want to jump Cleveland for him. Like if you're Cleveland, you're just going to, that Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philly isn't going to take him. So if you're Cleveland, and you could just make him the first pick tomorrow.
That's very true, man. And then if you're Cleveland, you're probably walking away as like one of the winners of the draft, because you get your quarterback, you get Mason Graham, like the safest player or one of the safest players. You get a future 1 and a 3. And they have that extra 2 because they're at like 33 and now like 36 or something. Jacksonville gave up a ton, dude.
That's it. Yeah. Trades like that for non-quarterbacks very seldom work out for the teams that are trading up.
Yeah. Christian, bro, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. It's because McNeil, he probably won't play this upcoming year at all. Is he hurt
okay.
still?
Ali McNeely's injured. Got it.
Makes sense. It's important for like these playoff teams to like maybe opt for a position of need over like BPA. Like if you need someone
definitely.
like a desperate position.
Right, because with the Jets, I just feel like it's just take like the most valuable long-term piece for your team was kind of my mindset in the first round. But if you're a team that's trying to win a Super Bowl and you have a glaring hole somewhere, then maybe you gotta think a little differently.
Yeah, I'm surprised Detroit didn't go with an edge rusher there.
Yeah, I thought so too. Something like Nick Scorton or Landon Jackson, maybe it's just too early for them. But because they didn't bring back Zadarius Smith. Washington.
Yeah.
Connerly still hasn't gone.
Yeah, I could see him maybe going to like Chicago in round 2.
That'd be great. That'd be a great haul for the Bears. Loveland and Connerly.
I mean, we were actually talking about this before. And also too, man, no pressure to hang if you want to bounce. Totally free. Just no pressure to stick around. Basically, what I'm saying. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
Something about Carly.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah. If the Patriots just want to say screw it, let's just draft Connerly or like Ursary, and just and just put Campbell at guard to start. It'd be pretty funny. Just fix the whole left side, but I don't think they'll do that.
No, but I mean, you could argue like taking a guard at 4 is too high. But then again, if you get your left tackle and your guard with your first 2 picks, it wouldn't be crazy. I think a wide receiver is a desperate need for them. I don't even know who their wide receiver 1 is for the Patriots.
Diggs.
Oh, I mean, yeah. What's left of him at 32 with the torn knee? But yeah, you're probably right.
My fear is Higgins goes to New England.
Yeah, it's a great fit for them.
Or even like Luther Burden. Oh, and you were right, by the way. Igbuka did go around 1, so I was wrong. I thought he was going to fall around 2. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago. But yeah,
well, who was my delusional pick for round? Well, Connerly. So we'll see. He's not going to make it to 42. I highly doubt Connerly makes it to 42.
Yeah, there's just so many teams that need tackles at the top of round 2.
Yeah, actually, if the Browns don't go quarterback at the top of round 2, I could see them going Connerly. Because when they made that trade back to 5, I thought the Browns were going to take Membu because they have a glaring hole at right tackle. So
that's what I was thinking too. But gosh, dude, I don't know. I'm surprised Jalen Walker fell all the way to Atlanta.
Yeah, he was a chalk pick for Carolina for a while. But
dude, if Philly gets Mike Green, that would be insane. All right, picks in for Washington. Then just a couple more picks to round out the first round, and we got day 2 tomorrow. I'll say Nick Imawari.
Oh,
okay. We were literally just talking about him. You were right. He's not going to last to 42.
So that's interesting because they just traded for Laramie Tunsil. So this is definitely a pick for the future, unless they are maybe going to start him at right tackle.
I guess like Washington, like because they could have went Travion Henderson here. They could have went Mike Green. Could have went Ezaraku. I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't think you draft a backup when you just like. I think he's probably going to start at right tackle.
Yeah, they're going to have to get him on the fields in some capacity. I don't know who their right tackle is off the top of my head, but teams don't really seem to care anymore about where the tackle played in college. They just think we're going to take a tackle with the tools we like. We have a spot at one tackle. We're going to throw him there and figure it out. I don't think teams really care anymore as much. We saw a lot last year too.
Yeah, so the Bills are on the clock now. They could definitely go with Will Johnson at corner, and that would
I hope they take someone terrible. I want my coworkers to complain tomorrow about whoever they take.
So, are you in Buffalo, or are you in like one of the cities outside of it?
I'm not in. I work in the city of Buffalo, but I'm in a suburb in like the South towns in the snow belt.
Okay, you ever heard of Olean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where my girlfriend is from. And so I
cool.
go up there. I've been up there a couple times.
Yeah. No, it's like 10 minutes away from me. Olean's beautiful, man.
10 minutes? No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking crazy. Yeah, like she's near St. Bonaventure. If you know that school.
Yeah. Bonnie's is a great school. Washington.
That's crazy, dude. You're down in Tampa. Freaking small world.
Yeah, Jeff and the universe brings us together, man. There's a lot of even the people like I'm sure you notice in the comments and stuff, there's a lot of Jet fans that don't live in the New York, New Jersey area.
How did you become a Jet
lot.
fan?
So I'm originally from Long Island. So just family was Jets, Mets, Knicks, and Islanders is what they left me with, man. Not good. And when I first moved to Buffalo, the Jets were kind of good, like their Rex Ryan years, and the Bills sucked. And then they both sucked for a while. And now the Bills are good and the Jets suck. So I'm hoping that changes.
Yeah. I feel you, man. Because dude, growing up like in South Florida, it was college, Florida
Yeah.
State, and Miami. But you know, when it came to NFL, it's just all Dolphins. Everyone, bro, Dolphins fans hate the Jets.
Dolphins fans are the worst fans, I think. Maybe you could speak better to it, but I'm sure you have a lot of friends who are, so maybe it changes your opinion. But
I mean,
at least online, man.
South Florida is just so collegey. Like like the Dolphins are like fourth as far as like popularity in Florida. Give me one sec. Hey Dave. Hey Dave. I don't think you can hear me. Dude, holy Kobe, what are you?
Very generous, man.
Positive.
That's awesome.
Even during rough seasons. Love the content, man. Thoughts on the first pick? Just joined in. Bro, thank you so much. You did not have to do that, dude. That means the world. I'll let you take it away, dude, with Membu at 7.
Oh, me? All right. Hey, what we got here? Kobe? Oh, dude, that's very generous of you. Jet fans are, dude, it's amazing some of the super chats that roll in for people that like you don't even know, but they're just like watch all your videos. So it's like you kind of know each other, I guess. Yeah, man, Membu was my preference. I think that the Jets now go with Fashanu, Simpson, Titman, AVT, Membu. Again, I've overrated lots of parts of this team many times, but I think that is as talented an offensive line in the AFC. And I think that is as worthwhile a goal that they could have accomplished with this pick is to say, hey, you know what? For the next, hopefully 8-10 years, we're not going to be mocking a Jets offensive tackle in the first, second, or third round until like 2035.
Yeah.
Right. I
That's
mean,
a good point, dude.
Like that in and of itself, I think is as worthy of any goal that they could have accomplished, man. And let's see what the next 2 rounds bring. If someone was really dead set on Warren, I get that. He would have been an awesome pick too, but maybe they go get a pass catcher in round 2. So I like the pick, man. I think they didn't overthink it. You went in the trenches. Look at all the offensive linemen that have been taken since then. So I like it, man.
Yeah, dude, I do too. I think I think there's kind of a whole thing I want to get into about the future of the Jets offensive line in 2026, like how the roster is. The Bills are picking now.
Will Johnson.
Yeah, who are you hoping for? Will Johnson. Mike Green is on the board.
Will Johnson. Mike Green too.
Nick Eamon-Warry's on the board.
That's fine.
Come
on.
Yeah, I want to dive into this Membu stuff. I'll dive into it after this pick. And we got KC and Philly, and it'll round out the first round. Do you know a lot of Bills fans by you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as mixed like other places. Like everybody's a Bills fan here.
All right, let's see.
What we got here?
Ooh,
Okay,
Max Harrison from Kentucky, dude. This was like mocked heavily over the last couple of days. Supposedly, Sean McDermott loves zone.
Yeah,
how you feeling?
He's all zone. I just don't think you overthink the pick. Is what I said when we started the draft. I'm like, just don't overthink it. Unless Will Johnson has some crazy injury report.
Apparently, like since we've been on the stream, I think it was Mel Kiper or Daniel Jeremiah said that like there's some sort of issue with Will Johnson's knee where they think it's going to be a problem every year. Like it's like it's not like you just rehab it and you're better.
Right. I like the swag though.
He's a good player.
Trade.
Oh shoot, we got to trade.
Oh, who's coming up?
Chiefs
Sure,
trade
come
pick
on.
to
Uh,
Eagles.
Mike Green.
They came up one spot.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so Casey moved.
Oh,
slotted
got
back
it.
to 32.
But if they would trade, why they obviously wouldn't be picking the player they want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
they're probably selling it further down the board.
He's gonna be
So they say you can get it for cheaper.
Harrison top 5. But yeah, dude. So Kobe, bro. Sorry. What were we gonna say?
Is your brother having Kyrie Elam flashbacks?
He is. Yeah. He liked that pick. For him, but I don't think Harrison's that bad of a player. I thought he was just a round 2 guy. There's got to be something wrong with Will Johnson, though.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. They got to have medical concerns.
There's no way that it's just 100% healthy and that's the end of this. He's totally fine. But yeah, Kobe. So I think one thing that's really important with Membu, and I apologize if I sound like a broken record, but a year from now, like when we're talking about the NFL draft next year or free agency, the only 2 offensive linemen that we would have under contract, starting offensive lineman, Olu, rookie deal, and then Tippmann, but he would be in the last year of his deal. So we would, essentially have, because, John Simpson would be a free agent at left guard. AVT's a free agent at right guard. So if we didn't address right tackle, or we try to roll the dice and try to snag someone later, and you just don't have that option there, the Jets are potentially looking at signing and drafting left guard, right tackle. Josh Myers is a free agent, so a backup interior guy. Max Mitchell's a free agent, so a backup tackle. Like, that's a lot of just millions upon millions of dollars to just dump into the O-line and or draft assets. So I think it's just really important to go out and get, the BPA / position of need type of kind of approach with that 7th overall pick. So I think really the Jets lucked out, with Membu falling to spot number 7. So I love the pick. And once again, man, I appreciate you sending that in, dude. It means the world. I appreciate that, Alex. Thank you, man.
I want to see who they came up for. I think it's got to be Mike. Well, I don't know. It could be. I think Mike Green is probably the best player left.
Jade 42. Jade went to Denver, bro. Denver, man.
Yeah, that was a wild last minute smoke screen. The Jade Barron to the Jets. Remember that had its like 48 hours or whatever.
Yeah, that whole situation was weird.
That didn't make sense.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what the Eagles. I'm gonna say Mike Green. Nick Eamon-Wari, I see like a lot of Eagles fans talking about him in mock drafts, but I think Mike Green just might be too good to pass up. Man, when I saw Casey trading out, I thought it was for sure someone coming up for a quarterback.
There's going to be some good players, man, that are left after this round 1. I'm feeling pretty good about pick 42.
Yeah, what are you thinking right now?
I guess it'd be easier to say the positions I don't think they'll take. I don't think they'll take corner. I don't think they'll take a quarterback or a running back or a linebacker or a guard. So other than that, man, could be defensive tackle, could be edge, could be wide receiver, could be tight end, could be safety. I hope it's a pass catcher, though. I do hope it's a pass catcher. I think if we wait until round 3 to take the first pass catcher, I'm definitely be worried about that for sure.
Yeah, I agree. With Tyleik Williams off the board, I think I would probably lean towards Winston. But gosh, dude, like you said, man, like if we wait until round 3, like we have to be 100% sure that that pass catcher that we get in round 3 is A, going to be there, and B, going to be good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Anthony says Jaden Higgins. Yeah, that was a popular one in a lot of Jet fan mock drafts, dude. I would be excited for that. I would be pumped for that for sure. Wish we had 2 picks in this second round. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Adam Schefter. Michigan corner Will Johnson has a knee issue that has concerned some NFL teams and helps explain why he's not been selected.
Oh, that sucks for him, man. He's an awesome player when he's healthy.
Yeah, crazy. I don't think Higgins is going to be there at 42, man. I think he's going to go to the Pats.
Yeah, pass
Joe like him?
Yeah, I like Joe. I really, really like Kyle Williams. I don't know if 42 is too rich for him. Maybe in the 3rd round, but I like him as a day 2 wide receiver. Jack Besh could be there. People are pretty split on him. I've seen him. I've seen him like as a top 40 pick, and then maybe not until the 3rd round. So, not a ton of speed, but he's super strong and he catches freaking everything.
Yeah, they got TCU has Savion Williams too, who's like another one of these guys that like some people love and some people hate.
But there will be a good pass catcher at 42. There will be a good pass catcher available to them.
So you want to just list off like the options. So you got Jaden Higgins, maybe, or just guys that are still on the board. Higgins, Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo, Kyle Williams, Luther Burden.
Oh, Burden, yeah. I mean, he's definitely. I think he's the best one. I can't imagine that. I think the Titans will probably take him at the top of round 2. I don't know if he's a Glenn Culture fit, but dude, he can freaking play, man. Yeah, Luther Burden can play. Yeah, Jack Besh, obviously.
Jahad Campbell.
Oh, Jahad Campbell. Wow.
God, I forgot he was still on the board, man.
I totally forgot about him too. What a great pick for the Eagles, of course. Bastards.
I know how he does it every year.
It's disgusting.
Bro, Cleveland, man, they're sitting in a great spot for 33. If they want Sanders.
I want to see like a big board, but of who's like still left.
Yeah. I actually have that pulled up here. Hold up. Let me share my screen real quick.
Oh, it's ESPN.
All right, here we go. Can you see it?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, yeah. So Will Johnson, Mike Green, Josh Simmons, dude.
Yeah, Josh Simmons has the medical thing as well.
But you know what was weird was like, I forget who reported it, but could have been Todd McShay. They said that he's 100% cleared. He's good to go.
Okay.
But I mean, who knows? Ezaraku, Boston College. Sanders, Ravel from East Carolina. Trey Amos from Ole Miss. Oh, Trey Harris is another pass catcher.
Oh, yeah, I like him too. Noel.
Yep.
I have a feeling they're going to go defense, but which we'll keep an open mind. I think I like Mason Taylor though. I think that's a good, or Arroyo, like one of those 2 tight ends. I just think I think tight end is a much bigger need than receiver for this team, honestly.
I do too. I think if we didn't bring back Lazard, I would maybe look towards wide receiver, but I don't know, dude. Tight end, it is a massive need.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna bounce, brother, but thanks for having me on, dude. It's
Cool,
good
bro.
chatting
Yo,
up
I
with you guys.
appreciate you taking the time, man. Thanks.
Take care, everybody. Good night. Go Jets.
Man, yeah, bro, for sure, Scott, for sure. Bro, it's almost midnight, dude, and there's over 350 people in here. That's crazy, man. I appreciate everyone hanging out, tuning in and chilling. You know, I know Memu's not going to please everyone, but at the end of the day, nothing's a sure thing. And we filled the need. We went with the best player available approach. One thing I'm really curious on doing is, or diving into after the stream, is the Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji mock, or not mock draft, press conference. That's gonna be a lot of fun to kind of dive into here. But the bottom line is, Jets have the 42nd pick in the draft, and there's more than 10 good players on the board. One question I do have, you know, is Will Johnson in consideration for the Jets if he's on the board? I can't believe he fell all the way to round 2. Like, you got to imagine like that knee. There's got to be something going on with it. Ursary to close out the first round. That would be interesting for KC. You know, I was thinking KC was going to go Donovan Jackson. Yeah, it's a good pick, man. Late pick, CJ West. Hey, I'm with you, bro. I love CJ West. Darius Alexander, I think he might be a better fit for a playoff ready team. His age supposedly is a concern for for certain teams out there, but I think by the way, the Chiefs picks in. I think Darius Alexander would be really solid for maybe like a Houston, a Buffalo, a Kansas City. Honestly, could look at Darius Alexander here because they lost Wharton and Noddy. So I wonder if Kansas City, and a lot of mock drafts had the Chiefs going with Walter Nolan. Or Josh Simmons here to KC, Mel Kiper. Alfred Collins is where we should go on the defensive line. I love Alfred Collins, man. I do. Big, imposing, run stuffing, production at Texas. There really seems to be a lot of buzz around Texas and the Jets. I think Makuba could very well be in play in that third round. All right, here comes Goodell for the last pick in round 1. Here we go. Josh Simmons going to KC. Great pick for them. I think it sucks if you're the Texans at 34, unless they love Ursary. If the Texans love Ursary, I think it makes sense. But Houston needs help at guard. Do you just kick Ursary inside and start Cam Robinson at left tackle? I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to do it for me. Nick Emanwari on the board. Will Johnson on the board. All the tight ends still on the board outside of Warren and Loveland. Mike Green on the board still. Shador Sanders still on the board. Crazy, man. Crazy. I'm going to be posting a video tomorrow morning talking about options at 42. Options in round 3. And I'm going to be live streaming at night. So should be a lot of fun. Can't thank you guys enough for hanging out, stopping in. And yeah, take it easy. And as always, go Jets.